Tell me this isn't true. Zhuo would even agree to such a request. Ah, this is too happy, right? I wouldn't even dare to dream of such a good thing. Taking wedding photos on Cher's super cruise ship. It's so romantic. When can I do it too? Congratulations, tilde tilde. No, I didn't expect Zhuo to be so easy to talk to. I'm going to send a private message to Zhuo too. What? Old classmate, is it settled? On the other hand, Zhao Qingsu's mother also called the so-called old classmate who led her to invest. When that man saw that Zhao Qingsu's mother was calling him, his tone was filled with indescribable joy. Originally, he was a professional seller of health products. He had signed up for a senior travel group and met many wealthy senior citizens. However, all of those senior citizens were very stingy. He did not sell many health products and was thinking of changing his career and quitting, but then he met Zhao Qingsu's mother. He called Zhao Qingsu's mother old classmate, but in fact, several of them could only be considered alumni. And they are alumni who are several years apart. He just casually complimented Zhao Qingsu's mother out of habit, but he didn't expect that Zhao Qingsu's mother would be extremely enthusiastic towards him. He immediately took advantage of the opportunity to sell her a lot of health products. Later, he discovered that Zhao Qingsu's mother was extremely rich. Coincidentally, a friend of his who was also a liar also wanted to cheat the rich woman. The two hit it off and immediately set up an investment scheme to cheat her. Unexpectedly, they succeeded without any effort. After a long period of contact, they discovered that Zhao Qingsu's mother was a big fish, and her daughter and son-in-law were very rich. So the two of them worked even harder to please Zhao Qingsu's mother and gain her trust. Now their relationship has become so good that they go out for dinner every week. It's done, it's done. Didn't I tell you that my daughter crawled out of my belly and will stick by my side no matter what? As soon as I told my daughter about this, she agreed. Guess how much she is willing to invest in me. Of course, Zhao Qingsu's mother would not tell the specific process. She asked in a boastful tone. The man already knew that she had a very rich daughter, but he didn't expect that she would actually be willing to invest. He was overjoyed and asked, "How much are you willing to invest?" 1 million. No, no, how could my daughter be so stingy? You are looking down on me. Look at what you said. I can look down on anyone but you. The man smiled and complimented Zhao Qingsu's mother. Then, 5 million. I just want to say that you are too narrow-minded. How can 5 million be considered money to my daughter? My daughter and son-in-law are not that stingy. After being flattered, Zhao Qingsu's mother said, "My daughter told me yesterday that if our project can really be done, she can invest 100 million yuan in me, and then we will be rich." 100 million. Although the man already knew that this was a considerable sum of money, he was still stunned after hearing the 100 million. 100 million is too much. Originally, he thought that 100 million was too much of an exaggeration. But when he thought about the fact that it was 100 million, he suddenly became bolder and decided to go for a big one. Anyway, he ran away as soon as he got the money. 100 million is enough for them to live a carefree life abroad for many years. When will the money arrive? He began to ask about this matter anxiously. You should know how to transfer it to me, right? Why are you in such a hurry? You should take your time when doing business. You're right, of course, we have to take our time in doing business. The problem is that opportunities don't wait for anyone. If we miss such a good opportunity because we don't have money, we may not be able to wait for such a good opportunity in the future. The man could not help but urge her on. The chance to defraud money was fleeting. The sooner he got the money, the better. He must not let the other person come back to his senses. Don't worry about what I told you. My daughter and son-in-law have plenty of money. You should have seen the birthday present my daughter's son-in-law gave her on the platform yesterday, right? It was a cruise ship. Do you know how much a cruise ship costs? That's definitely not a small amount of money. My son-in-law was willing to give my daughter such an expensive gift. Do you think my son-in-law is a person who is short of money? After Zhao Qingsu's mother said a lot of things unhappily, she continued, although my daughter and son-in-law are not short of money, you also know that 100 million is not a small amount. So my daughter and son-in-law said they want to meet you and learn about your project in person. If it is suitable, they will invest. I'm afraid it's too much trouble to meet in person. The man broke out in a cold sweat when he heard about the meeting. I don't think it's necessary to meet. After all, time waits for no one. How about we just talk on the phone? If you agree to meet, I will arrange a meeting for you right away. How long will it take to meet? Zhao Qingsu's mother was immediately unhappy. If you don't want to meet me, then just return the money to me. I won't invest in this project anymore. No, 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 please don't refuse to invest just because you don't agree with me. If you really want to meet, then arrange a meeting. But you have to hurry up. Okay, let's do it this afternoon. Okay. After thinking about it, the man gritted his teeth and agreed to it. As the saying goes, wealth and honor are sought in danger, so it is better to give it a try. If you win, you will enjoy wealth and glory for the rest of your life. Chapter 388 Mom, you don't really think you've made a profit. Chapter 388. After talking to her so-called old classmates, Zhao Qingsu's mother happily told Zhao Qingsu about this. Su Yuan, who was standing by, heard the news and without further ado, asked Zin Ziolai to arrange the matter, and then reported the address. Then the two got in the car and drove towards the agreed address. The agreed location was a relatively remote tea house. Although it was remote, it was very large and very elegantly built. It was very nice to have a cup of tea in this place. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, hello, please come in. The receptionist at the door looked to be in his 40s or 50s, but his smile was very gentle and polite, which made people feel comfortable. Su Yuan nodded, glanced at the private room on the second floor, pointed to a place with a nice view and sent Zhao Qingsu over there. Sit here and have a cup of tea. I'll be back soon. You won't take me with you. Seeing that Su Yuan wanted to leave her like this, Zhao Qingsu pouted unhappily and pulled his sleeves to act coquettishly. Stop it. Su Yuan pulled her hand away and said, You have a baby in your belly. I don't want to scare our baby. Well, I'll wait for you here, so come back soon. Good, Su Yuan said, touching her hair. The eye contact between the two was gentle and full of flowing friendship, which made the receptionist next to them look shocked and surprised. Although news about the deep love between the couple is nothing new, news is news, and seeing it with one's own eyes is also seeing it with one's own eyes. He has so many friends around him, and he has seen many couples and guests who come to the tea house to drink tea, but he has never seen a couple who have been married for several years and have 2 children, and their relationship is still so inseparable, as if they were in their first love. Let's go. Su Yuan saw the receptionist staring blankly and raised his eyebrows at him. Where is the private room I booked? Oh, this way, please. The receptionist quickly took him to the private room that had been booked previously. The private room was very large, with a door separating the inside and outside, so it had good privacy, which made Su Yuan very satisfied. After he entered the private room, he sat down at the door, casually ordered a cup of tea and drank it slowly. Not long after, footsteps were heard at the door, and the voices of Zhao Qingsu's mother talking to a man. The tea house my son-in-law booked is the best tea house around here. Because of the investment, Zhao Qingsu's mother was very proud and said, Although the tea here is very expensive, it's nothing for my son-in-law. But I usually can't bear to come to such a good place to drink tea. Old classmate, you have a really good eye. You picked such a great son-in-law. That's because my daughter is capable. Of course, it's also because I raised her well. They used to say that I was not a good mother and only gave birth to a daughter, but not a son. It's better to raise a hen that doesn't lay eggs than to raise such a money loser. Now no one dares to say that to me, who told them that the sons they raised were not as good as my daughter. Talking about this, Zhao Qingsu's mother was very proud. After the other two exchanged glances, they of course praised her in various ways. The 3 of them walked in while talking. Mom, you're here. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's mother coming in with 2 so-called old classmates, Su Yuan put down the tea in his hand, stood up, walked to Zhao Qingsu's mother, held her arm, and asked her to sit down. What would you like to drink? You can order anything like Taiguanian or Par. You know I don't have any particular preferences when it comes to tea. Today we are talking about investment. Didn't you say you wanted to meet the investors of my project? They are my old classmates and they are very nice people. Su Yuan's actions made Zhao Qingsu's mother feel that she was greatly respected and completely satisfied her vanity, so her expression was very happy. Hello, Mr. Su, we are. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's mother introducing herself to Su Yuan, the 2 men secretly calmed themselves down and approached Su Yuan in a flattering manner, wanting to shake hands with him. But Su Yuan ignored them and sat back on the chair. Although his action was extremely impolite, the 2 men did not think there was anything wrong with it. After all, the gap in their status is too big, so it is normal for others to look down on them. All they have to do is to cheat the money. So they put their hands away awkwardly, and then took out a document from the black briefcase they were carrying. Mr. Su, Mrs. Zhao has already told you about our investment project, right? I know you are worried and want to meet us. We also know that an investment of 100 million is not a joke, so I brought a detailed project introduction for you to see. In order to finish the introduction of this project and make it look real, the 2 of them didn't sleep all night last night. But Su Yuan had no intention of looking at it at all. He raised his eyelids slightly and said calmly, "Let's not beat around the bush. Since you're already here, tell me the truth. How much money did you cheat my mother out of?" As soon as Su Yuan said this, the two people's faces changed immediately. The man subconsciously wanted to quibble. "Mr. Su, you see, what you said is too harsh. Your future mother-in-law and I are old classmates. I know there are many scammers now, but with my relationship with your future mother-in-law, how can I still cheat her? Besides, you haven't even seen our project yet. How do you know it's a scam?" Zhao Qingsu's mother also hurried to explain. Yuan, you're going too far. Didn't I tell you that they and I are old classmates and have a very good relationship? They definitely wouldn't cheat me. Didn't I invest more than 2 million before? Now I've earned more than 200,000 in dividends. How could it be fake? Su Yuan raised an eyebrow. Mom, so you gave someone 2 million and they gave you 200,000 and you still think you made a profit? My 2 million is the principal and the 200,000 is the dividend. You are a business professional, so you should understand this, right? They will give me dividends in the future, so won't I make it back after a long time? Zhao Qingsu's mother tried her best to persuade Su Yuan. Su Yuan was not moved at all. Seeing that she couldn't persuade Su Yuan, she had no choice but to stand up, took out her phone and called Zhao Qingsu. "There are some things that I can't communicate with you. I'll call my daughter now and let her talk to you." Chapter 389, A Scam? What are you talking about? Zhao Qingsu's mother knew that Su Yuan loved her precious daughter to the core. If her daughter stood on her side, Su Yuan would definitely have no choice. "Mom, you don't have to call. Zuer is drinking tea outside." Su Yuan seemed to know what she was going to do. "If you want to see Zuer, just go out and see her." "Okay, just wait here for a while. I'll go talk to my daughter about this." Zhao Qingsu's mother went out in a hurry. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu's mother had left like that, the two men were a little flustered and were sweating a lot. However, they tried hard to remain calm, looked at Su Yuan with apologetic smiles, and tried to sell their project to Su Yuan. Although they were mentally prepared before they came, and Su Yuan was definitely not as easy to fool as Zhao Qingsu's mother. As long as he was a human, there would be flaws after more communication. With the help of Zhao Qingsu's mother, they felt that the success rate was still very high. Even if they fail, they can just find an excuse to get out of it. But who knew that Su Yuan was such a stubborn person? What should they do? "You've talked so much nonsense, are you tired?" Su Yuan looked at them calmly. "Save your energy and use it to sew on the sewing machine." "Mr. Su, what do you mean?" Looking at Su Yuan's indifferent and almost emotionless face, the two men were completely confused. They subconsciously wanted to run, but Su Yuan's words made them stop in their tracks. "My people are guarding outside. The official personnel will arrive soon. Now I can give you two a choice. If you two honestly admit to the fraud and go out and explain the matter to my mother, I can send you directly to the sewing machine and handle the matter impartially." "What if—" The two swallowed and stared at Su Yuan. Whispering sound, Su Yuan sneered. "If you don't admit it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you have come here with evidence of fraud. I don't mind letting you go in with 1 foot and step on the sewing machine." "Why do you need to use 1 foot to operate the sewing machine?" One of the men didn't react at first, but after he finished speaking halfway, he suddenly understood what Su Yuan meant. Using 1 foot to operate the sewing machine, that would mean breaking one of their legs. "Just go in. At least your legs and arms are intact, and you can be a brave man again after 10 years. But if you go in with broken legs, not only will you be bullied in there, but there will definitely be nothing good waiting for you when you come out." Looking at the gentle and seemingly harmless Su Yuan, the two of them couldn't help but shudder and immediately knelt in front of him. We admit it. Then you should know what to do, right?" "Understood. Go ahead." "What? Zuer, what did you say to Yuan? Why did Yuan say my old classmate was a liar right away? Did you misrepresent my meaning?" After rushing to find Zhao Qingsu's mother scolded her. "Do you think you are stupid for 3 years after pregnancy? How could you misunderstand such a simple sentence? Do you know that this makes me very embarrassed in front of my old classmates? How can I face them in the future?" "Mom." Seeing that her mother still believed them at this time, Zhao Qingsu was also very helpless. "I told you a long time ago that they are liars." "Zuer." Okay. Seeing that her mother was angry, Zhao Qingsu did not confront her head-on, but just said lightly, "Since you think it is true, then you have to believe that they can convince my husband." "But—" Just when Zhao Qingsu's mother was about to continue talking to Zhao Qingsu about this matter, she saw Su Yuan and the two men walking over there. She slapped her thigh immediately. "It seems that this matter is settled." An investment of 100 million. Whether or not she makes money is not important. The main thing is that such a large investment makes her so proud. She immediately stood up and walked over there quickly. You guys have finished talking about this so quickly. I said it would take at least an hour or two to finish this. Mrs. Zhao. Seeing her so excited, the two men looked pale. They stammered, feeling a little embarrassed to speak. But after seeing Su Yuan's expression, they had to grit their teeth and said, Mrs. Zhao, I actually lied to you about the investment. It was just a scam. A hoax? What are you talking about? Things have developed to this point, but the most unbelievable person is Zhao Qingsu's mother. Her eyes widened. Are you kidding me? How did this turn out to be a scam? Didn't you give me dividends before? In her opinion, a scammer is the kind who just takes your money and runs away. At first, she didn't quite believe that this was true, but after the two gave her dividends, she began to trust them. But telling her now that it's fake, the dividends I gave you were all from the money you gave me. The two men said this and lowered their heads. You are worse than beasts. Now the facts are in front of us, and the parties involved have admitted it themselves. Even if Zhao Qingsu's mother doesn't want to believe it, she can't do it. But she still couldn't accept this fact, and wanted to rush up and tear the two people to pieces. It was Zhao Qingsu who came over and stopped her. Mom, calm down. It's not a lot of money, and this incident has made you more alert. You won't be cheated next time. But I was cheated out of 2 million. When Zhao Qingsu's mother thought about how the other party used her money to cheat her, and she still trusted them so much, she felt very angry. Zhao Qingsu grabbed her mother's arm helplessly. The official personnel over there acted quickly, and came over and took the two men away in a short while. Mom, are you okay? Seeing her mother's dazed expression, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but worry. If you feel uncomfortable, just tell me. You will feel better after you tell me. And don't worry about the money. You should be able to get some of it back. It was obvious that Zhao Qingsu's comfort did not have much effect on Zhao Qingsu's mother. Her face always looked ugly. Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to call her father to come and pick her up. Dad, please take good care of my mom when you go back. Chapter 390, I plan to make a movie. I've been with your mother for so many years, I know what kind of personality she has. Don't worry about her. She's just embarrassed for the moment, she'll get over it after a while. Zhao Qingsu's father couldn't persuade her on many things, and this time, what Zhao Qingsu's mother did also made him laugh and cry. But there is nothing I can do, after all she is my wife. Seeing her mother being taken back by her father, Zhao Qingsu finally breathed a sigh of relief. Her parents' matter had caused her a lot of trouble. However, although this incident made her very tired, when she got home, she saw two cute little guys running around in the living room covered with a bed sheet, one playing a superhero and the other playing a monster fighting each other, and her mood immediately improved. You guys really acted like it was true. After Zhao Qingsu applauded, she asked them, You like acting so much. Do you want to act in a TV series? Anyway, the two little ones are so smart that she doesn't have to worry about their studies. If they really like performing, she doesn't mind taking some plays for them. Making money is secondary. The main thing is to make the two little ones happy. Okay. Upon hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, the two little guys immediately threw away the sheets on their bodies and ran over with their short legs. Mommy, every time Ruyi and I play the monster. Can I play the hero in the play this time? The kind of hero who can save the world. Let Ruyi play the monster. I don't want it. Don't you call me sister every day. Shouldn't you give in to me? You call me your brother every day, but I never see you give in to me. Although they haven't even started yet, the two little guys are already arguing over their roles. It's obvious that they really love performing. Well, I'll go ask your godmother if there's any role suitable for you. Zhao Qingsu reluctantly took out her cell phone and prepared to call Jing Tian, but her hand was held down. Since they like acting, they can't make it too shabby. How can such a crew be worthy of our son and daughter? It doesn't cost much to make a movie anyway. I can just invest some money to make a movie for them. I see, that's fine. If you invest by yourself, no matter how much or how little you earn, you can still make some money, and you won't lose much either. As long as the two little ones are having fun, money doesn't matter. Then I'll go get ready now. Su Yuan has always been a man of action, so he did what he said and immediately asked Zin Ziolai to contact several well-known children's literature writers and screenwriters in the country. Since he had already decided to make a movie, the most important thing was the script. He didn't like any of the existing scripts, so after thinking about it, he decided to directly find children's literature writers and screenwriters to write the script on the spot. What? Hello? Old Zhang, you're here too. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen each other for many years. How can it be many years? Only 4 or 5 years. Soon, well-known domestic children's literature writers and screenwriters gathered together. They were invited very unexpectedly, and they didn't know what they were going to do. But since everyone was already here, they started to exchange pleasantries with each other. I don't know why President Su asked us to come here this time. This is such a big deal. Before they came, they didn't know that so many domestic children's writers and screenwriters would come, and they thought they were the only ones invited, so they were quite surprised to see so many people. However, they didn't remain confused for long, as Zin Zielai soon appeared at the door of the conference room. Hello, everyone. I know that everyone feels very strange to invite you here this time, but you will soon know what I want you to do. Making a movie is actually not a big deal for the entire Green Rice Company. If they want to make a promotional video or something like that, they can just leave it to the marketing department. But Su Yuan attached great importance to the script this time, so Zin Zielai went on stage directly. She sat down at the main seat, opened the document in front of her, and slowly began to speak amid everyone's puzzled eyes. Everyone here is one of the top children's literature writers in the country and has published a lot of popular works. The reason why I gathered everyone here this time is that I want you to write a script for a children's movie. A script for a children's movie. When they heard that it was a script for a children's movie, everyone present looked unhappy. If you want a satisfactory children's movie script, can't you just invite one of them? Why do you have to invite all of them? Are you planning to let them compete for the job? It would be fine if they were small writers and screenwriters, but they are all important writers and screenwriters in the country, and such behavior is really disrespectful to them. Yes, it's a script for a children's movie. This movie was specially invested and produced by our President Su for the young master and young lady. It is still in its infancy, so I invited everyone to come here to review the script for this children's movie. There is no need for anyone here to compete. We are all partners. Seeing that everyone seemed unhappy, Zin Zielai smiled slightly and offered a price that they simply could not refuse. As long as you finish the script within 3 months and satisfy Director Su, each of you can get a reward of 1 million. Generally speaking, a movie script only costs tens of thousands of yuan, and a good movie script would sell for 100,000 at most. Of course, if the screenwriter and author are very famous, the price can be raised a little higher, even 400,000 or 500,000. But for a collaborative script like this, it is difficult to offer such a high price. After all, no one's money comes from the wind, right? But this time, Su Yuan directly offered 1 million to write the script. There are 10 people here, which means that this movie spent 10 million on the script alone. Spending so much money on the script, I certainly can't be stingy in other aspects. If I accidentally make this movie popular, then they will also benefit from it. After quickly weighing the pros and cons in their minds, they found that writing the script had only advantages and no disadvantages. They no longer felt like they were being looked down upon and readily agreed to write the script. And after they signed the contract, this matter was directly put online for warm-up. What? The two kids are going to make a movie. Chapter 391, Soaking Wolfberries in a Thermos Cup. As these two little ones are now very popular child stars among the public, the online popularity suddenly soared as soon as the news came that they were going to make a movie. I think these two little ones are really suitable for performing. It feels like God has gifted them with this talent. Not only do they look great from every angle, but their eyes are already better than those of other young actresses at such a young age, okay? I don't care. Even if you cut off my legs, I will still crawl over to watch the movie starring these two little guys. I'm so excited to think about the two little ones making a movie. For fans of the two little ones, this movie is highly anticipated. But for ordinary passers-by, it is somewhat dismissive. Capitalists spend money to make movies. It's just a child's play. I suggest that everyone should not hold out too much hope lest they be disappointed. Yeah, it's too unreliable to make a movie. What kind of movie can such a young child make? They also found so many well-known children's literature writers and screenwriters to write the script. Wouldn't it be better to let one person write the script? If so many people write a script, everyone will have different ideas, and it will most likely be a mediocre and not a masterpiece. What? Su Yuan didn't care about the comments online. After solving the script issue, the next thing was to form a crew and a target team. He went directly to Wang Kong to find the director of the crew. I'm planning to make a movie. Can you lend me a crew and a director? Anyway, the Wang family also has a film and television company, as well as several good directors and crews. They are already here, so Su Yuan went to borrow them directly. I heard that you were going to make a movie, but how much did you invest this time? After all, it was a movie made for his own children, so Wang Kong didn't think Su Yuan would be serious about it. He thought he came to him to borrow the crew and director in order to save money. According to preliminary estimates, the investment will be around 1 billion yuan. If it's not enough, we can add more later. 1 billion. The figure of 1 billion scared Wang Kong to death. Although he didn't care much about the company's affairs, he still knew the market price when it came to making movies. An ordinary urban romance movie without special effects, if you invite big-name actors, can be made for no more than 50 million. Even if it is a fantasy movie and the special effects are very expensive, the investment would be at most 100 million. This is just a movie about kids playing, but they invested 1 billion yuan in it. This is a complete waste of money. Yes, Brother Yuan, why don't you listen to my advice and reconsider it? This investment amount is too much. You can do anything else with this money. Why invest in movies? It's not easy to make money in the movie industry these days. You can lose money if you're not careful. Loss, it doesn't matter. As long as my child is happy, that's all that matters. At the beginning of filming, Su Yuan didn't think about making money. He thought very clearly that since this was his child's interest, he, as a father, must support it. Brother Yuan, you are too willful. Wang Kong thought Su Yuan's words were simply insane. Even if you spoil your child, you shouldn't spoil him to death like this, right? This is too exaggerated. Wang Kong really couldn't do anything about Su Yuan, who doted on his wife and baby. He was silent for a long time before he uttered, "You don't make money, but I still have to. It's fine for you to lend me my crew and my director. I'll transfer whichever one you want to you immediately, but you must pay the money you owe. Forget about refusing to pay. Can I still rely on your debt?" Hey, isn't this just a casual remark? After talking to Su Yuan for a few words, Wang Kong thought about how they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Since Su Yuan had a baby, he didn't hang out with him much, so he asked him out for a few drinks. How about we find a place to get drunk and reminisce about the past? What's there to reminisce about? If you have something to say, can't you just talk over the phone? I have to go home to be with my wife and kids, so I don't have time to drink with you. Su Yuan had no interest in this kind of thing and advised Wang Kong, "You are already so old. It's fine if you don't get married and have children. But the problem is that you are so old and still stay up late drinking every day. Aren't you afraid that you will drink yourself to death?" Okay, I'll go home and soak the wolfberries in a thermos. After hanging up the phone with Su Yuan, Wang Kong smiled bitterly and muttered to himself into the phone in his hand, "You have a wife and children and can't spend your time there. But I still have to continue spending my time there." What? After the script director and crew are finalized, the next thing to contact is the special effects team. After all, it is a children's movie with mostly fantasy and magical elements, so good special effects are of utmost importance. With the gradual development and maturity of the film market, there are more and more special effects companies at home and abroad. Although the advantages of domestic film special effects companies are very obvious, one is that they are fast in time, short in cycle, and relatively cheap in price. However, it is visibly that the quality is not as good as foreign special effects. Su Yuan wanted to do his best, so he chose the largest foreign special effects company, Illumination and Magic, without hesitation. As a global film special effects company, Light and Magic's quality is obvious to all, and of course the price is not cheap. After Guangmo received the news that Green Rice Company was requesting cooperation, it did not take the matter seriously. Every year they receive many orders from China, but most of the negotiations fall through because they are simply unwilling to spend so much money. Most people refused to cooperate when they heard the exaggerating price. Lumi is a very strong company, and I believe this cooperation should still be very promising. The company discussed the matter internally, and the director felt that it was necessary to attach importance to this cooperation. After all, although their special effects company is very large, they actually live a very tight life. If they didn't rely on taking a lot of advertisements to make money, they would have gone bankrupt long ago, relying solely on movie special effects. But after all, we are making movie special effects or homepage, so we have to try our best. It's just a children's movie. In China, such movies are least valued. It's rare to see excellent children's movies of the same kind. They certainly won't be willing to spend money on special effects, so just deal with it casually. The rest of the people were not optimistic about this cooperation. The special effects director was quite confident about this cooperation. It happened that he had to go to China for something, so he decided to go to Green Rice Company in person to discuss the special effects cooperation of this movie. Of course, no matter how much he talked, he didn't dare to say anything too final and could only tell his superiors to try their best. Chapter 392, I just said 500,000 per second. The place where we made an appointment with the special effects director of Light and Magic was a private cafe with an elegant environment. The taste of the coffee was also the best rated among similar coffees. Of course, prices also went up as a result. Welcome, do you have a reservation? I had a pretty good feeling about this coffee shop. As soon as Director Guang Mo walked into the coffee shop, a beautiful and elegant waitress came over to show her the way. He smiled at the waitress, Table 9. Yes, please follow me. Upon hearing that he was the guest of Table 9, Director Guang Mo clearly felt that the waitress's attitude became more respectful. This means that the person coming over is not an ordinary person. Could it be that the boss is coming in person? In fact, to be honest, although he had hope for this kind of cooperation, the hope was really not great. After all, it was just a children's movie. Just like what they had discussed in the company before, special effects companies like theirs didn't do well in China. Although the quality of their films was very high, special effects companies in China were not without their own advantages. They were cheap and produced quickly, which had already met the special effects requirements of most companies. Companies like theirs were not popular, not to mention children's films. Thinking of this, the special effects director became a little pessimistic. But since I'm here, I should at least meet him and try to get the chance. Even if I can't get the contract for the special effects of this movie, I can at least take an advertisement. In China, bosses are still willing to spend money on advertising. While thinking, he had already walked to table number 9 on the second floor. The table was surrounded by flower stands. He could vaguely see an elegant couple sitting inside. The two were talking about something, and the air was filled with a tender and sweet atmosphere. He felt a little embarrassed to disturb her. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, a guest is coming. The waiter informed him as he led him over. The two men seemed to react and smiled as they invited him to take a seat. You are the Light Demon's man, right? Sit wherever you want. Yes. The special effects director walked over and handed over his business card. I'm Jason, the special effects director of Light and Magic. It's an honor to meet you two this time. After the two parties introduced themselves to each other, Jason realized that the people sitting in front of him were the chairman of Green Rice Company, Su Yuan, and the chairman's wife, Zhao Qingsu. This surprised him greatly. Generally, when a company makes such a small movie, the chairman will not personally discuss the details, but will leave it to the people below him to do. This time I even met the chairman. It seems that Korn Company attaches great importance to this children's film. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but straighten his back. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, hello, hello. I didn't expect that you two would come to talk to me in person about movie special effects. Our company is headquartered abroad. We used to have a branch in China, but it was closed a long time ago. I guess the domestic market doesn't know much about our company. Let me first introduce our company. Jason attached great importance to this film collaboration, so he introduced the advantages of his company in detail. Su Yuan was very satisfied after listening to it. The reason why I found your company is that I know your company's strength. There is no doubt about that. I want to make a children's fantasy movie for my son and daughter. I have already found a team for other aspects. I hope your company will be responsible for the special effects. After all this time, I just made toys for my son and daughter. This is a child playing house. After hearing what Su Yuan said, Jason looked a little uncomfortable. It's like this. It's an honor for our company that you choose our company as your special effects team. However, you should know that if you are only making a movie for your son and daughter, then our company's services may not be suitable for you. Why? Because of the price. Jason obviously didn't want to continue the conversation with Su Yuan, so he said very bluntly, our company's special effects are of high quality, but the price is of course a little higher. If you just want to make a movie for your son or daughter to make them happy, then I think you need to choose those companies that are worth the money, not us. Su Yuan interrupted him directly. How does your company collect money? Our company charges per second. The specific price depends on the difficulty of the picture production. However, if you want to achieve the effect you expect, the minimum charge is about 500,000 per second. Fantasy movies are the most expensive of all special effects movies, because usually all the special effects are there except for a few actors. Not only do you have to construct the picture, but you also have to construct various moving objects. If you want to be accurate to every second, you need dozens of frames per second, and each frame will take dozens of hours to render and produce. Producing this kind of picture not only burns up the computer, but the most important thing is the high labor cost. If you spread it out, each person actually doesn't get much money. So every time people from China approached their company for cooperation, they were basically amazed at their high prices, and the cooperation failed. Basically, once he quotes the price, the other party will definitely try to lower the price. He's used to it. Only 500,000 per second. That's cheaper than I thought. Other people make movies for the purpose of making money, so they will save as much as possible on special effects. After all, the current atmosphere for making movies and TV series in China is not very good. After paying the sky-high salaries of the stars and the salaries of the directors and staff, there is not much money left to spend on special effects. This is why domestic movies and TV series all choose 50-cent special effects. It is just a helpless move. But on Su Yuan's side, the protagonists are his own son and daughter, which saves a lot of money. Apart from the salaries of the staff and some filming personnel, the rest can all be used for special effects and publicity. So he felt that 500,000 per second was really not expensive. 1 minute and 60 seconds. So if the movie is 2 hours long, it would be 120 minutes. If you calculate it all, the production cost of the special effects is 3.6 billion. At the beginning, he initially decided to invest 1 billion yuan, but the reason he made such an investment was that he didn't know much about fantasy movies. If the special effects were good enough, then so much money would definitely be no problem. Mr. Su, I just said 500,000 per second. When Jason heard Su Yuan say it was cheap, he felt a little insulted. Chapter 393. Can your schedule be adjusted over here? I know it's 1 second, so that's 500,000 per second. This deal was actually made. Jason was completely confused. He had already thought that this time he had failed, but he didn't expect Su Yuan to directly tell him that 500,000 per second was no problem. Yes, let's sign the contract at this price, but I'm not completely without requirements. Su Yuan smiled slightly. I hope that you can at least double the speed while ensuring the quality. I don't care whether you hire more people to do it or work overtime day and night. In short, I hope you can guarantee the speed. As for the price, if I am satisfied with your finished product, the price can be discussed again. Oh yes, Jason had prepared a lot to say, but now he couldn't say anything. You know, their company hasn't received such a big special effects order for a long time. The last movie named after their company was Ativan. This is not a small list. He nodded excitedly and immediately signed the contract on the spot. His second reaction was to run out and call his boss. Jason, you called me in the middle of the night to disturb my sleep. Do you know that my sleep has been getting worse and worse recently? It's you guys who call me in the middle of the night every day. The doctor said that I'm about to have a nervous breakdown, you know. The boss who answered the call started complaining immediately. Jason has been working as a special effects director at ILM for more than 10 years and has a good relationship with his boss in private. So he didn't care about his complaints at all, but excitedly said, "Do you know what I did just now? I'm not interested even if you were going to have a sex change operation. If you have something to say, just say it. If not, I'll hang up. I promise that if I tell you this, you will wake up immediately." Beep. Before Jason finished speaking, there was a dead tone on the other end of the phone, but Jason didn't care and called again. I've already told you that I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Can you please be a little considerate of your boss? Let me have a good sleep first. Can't we talk about it tomorrow? I got a contract for Lumi Films special effects. It's a 2-hour children's fantasy movie. The price per second is $500,000. After Jason quickly finished speaking, there was silence on the other end of the phone, and soon a busy tone was heard. But 3 seconds later, the other party called again. This is not a dream, this is real. Jason, you are so amazing. You are really my baby sweetheart, tilde. In fact, when it comes to movie special effects, all companies are very inward-looking, and it is very difficult for them to maintain quality. But if we can get a big contract like this one, the entire company will not have to worry about food and clothing for the next year. He no longer has to think about which boss he will have tea with to discuss advertising tomorrow. Boss, I have already signed the contract. After this contract is signed, almost all of our focus for the next year will be on China, so I won't go back for the time being. If I stay here, I can communicate with Lumi in a timely manner. Okay, that's fine. I will call back all the people from all branches around the world right now. After carefully analyzing Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's needs, the boss of Light Magic made a decision immediately. But I think even if we call back all the people in our company, we won't be able to speed up the production of this movie. But we can cooperate with the company next door and let them help complete the special effects production of this movie. Now the script, director, filming crew, and special effects team have basically been finalized. Basically, we can start shooting after the script is finalized. A month later, after being revised and polished day and night by more than a dozen top domestic children's literature writers and screenwriters, the script was given to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. The two thought the script was well written, so they officially started filming. However, some supporting roles need to be selected before the official filming begins. In addition to the two little ones, several child actors of different ages are needed. In addition, there is a very important role in this play, that is, the adoptive mother of the two little ones. Among the adults in this film, the adoptive mother has the most scenes. Originally, Su Yuan thought that Zhao Qingsu could play the role, but Zhao Qingsu had no interest in playing this role, so he finally decided to hold an audition for the role. Zuer, I heard that you are going to shoot a children's fantasy movie recently. Have you finished the script? Jing Tian heard the rumor about the movie and came over to ask about it. After all, there is so much discussion about this movie online right now, with various marketing accounts and hot topics emerging one after another, so it would be difficult for her not to know about it even if she wanted to. Yes, the script has been finalized. The script has already been finalized. This is too fast. How about giving me the script to look at? Jing Tian is still very curious about this movie. The quality of a movie depends not only on acting skills and special effects, but also on the script. If the script is good and the plot is not bad, the audience's evaluation will not be bad. Okay. Zhao Qingsu sent her the script and asked as if she remembered something. By the way, take a close look at the role of the foster mother in the script. That role has quite a lot of scenes. I think it's suitable for you. See if your schedule can be adjusted. If your schedule can be adjusted, how about you play this role? Zuer, you trust me so much. Okay, let me take a look at the script first. Although this drama has a huge investment, it is actually just a children's movie, and Jing Tian did not have high hopes for this movie. But after she finished reading the script an hour later, she immediately changed her mind. Zuer, stop talking. You haven't found anyone else for this role yet, right? I want it. Can you adjust your schedule? In fact, Zhao Qingsu had thought of Jing Tian at the beginning, but she was too busy during this period, with various commercials to shoot and announcements to attend, so she didn't tell her about this. Of course, I can squeeze in some time, or at most push a few ads. I definitely can't miss such a good movie. Jing Tian was looking forward to it. Besides, I haven't seen the two little ones for a long time because I've been too busy recently. If we can film together, I can stay with them for a while longer. Chapter 394 to Tiantian, you are popular again. After this movie was basically finalized, it was about to start shooting. According to the director's superstitious belief, when shooting a movie, one must find a good day to hold a startup ceremony before officially starting shooting, so that the movie will be more likely to become a hit. Although Su Yuan thought it was stupid to hold a launch ceremony, so much time had already been spent on the preliminary preparations, and he didn't care about such a small matter, so he decided to hold the launch ceremony. However, the popularity of this movie did not wane as they started filming. Instead, because one person after another came out to reveal news about the film, this simple children's movie became popular before it was even filmed. Originally, Su Yuan's investment in the two little ones was already a hot topic, but Guang Mo, who had been silent for 10,000 years, suddenly posted a message on his official account. I wish us a happy cooperation at Green Rice Company at Zhao Qingsu Zuer at Su Yuan. Although it is just a short sentence, the amount of information netizens get from it is unprecedentedly large. What kind of special effects company is Light and Magic? That's the world's top movie special effects company, and it's well known that it's expensive. Illuminati can be seen in all the top foreign blockbusters, but domestic magical and fantasy films rarely hire such an awesome special effects company. Due to national conditions, we simply cannot afford to hire Light Magic in our country. But it's just a children's movie, and they actually hired Illuminati. I think this is just a gimmick. Didn't several previous movies claim to have hired the best special effects team from abroad to do the special effects? But the special effects that came out later were nothing but cheap special effects. This is simply a lie to the audience. The script cost so much money, and the special effects cost so much money, how can they make money? I also think it's just a gimmick. I guess the foreign company just took on the job of making a promotional video. The special effects in the movie were made by a domestic company. After being deceived so many times, people have become experienced. No matter how fancy the promotional video is, if the movie is just a piece of shit, they are just deceived into eating a piece of shit. When they eat too much shit, they will start to resent the person who cooks shit as a delicacy. I can tell you that the special effects this time are absolutely amazing. My cousin's classmate works at Illumination and Magic. He said that in order to cooperate with Lumi, almost all special effects artists from all over the world were called back. It is estimated that they will all be working on the special effects of this movie this year. Some people didn't believe it, but some people also found out the gossip. It can be seen that the person who got this gossip has a small news account with tens of thousands of followers. Although this account is not very popular, it has good credibility because it is very objective when reporting news. Everyone also knows that he is not just saying it to attract attention. So for a while, everyone had different speculations about this movie. If the entire movie really uses illumination and magic, then the investment in special effects for this movie must be at least $1 billion, right? $1 billion is definitely not enough. Of course, it depends on the situation. If there are a lot of magical shots, $1 billion is definitely not enough. If you want to save a little money, there are ways to save money. Save money? Stop kidding me, okay? Don't you see who the investor is? The investor is our big brother Yuan. The cruise ship that big brother Yuan gave to Zoour on her birthday last time was worth tens of billions. Why would he care about spending tens of billions to make a movie for his son and daughter? That's true. Other people make movies for feelings, fame, or money. But our brother Yuan seems to only do it to make his son and daughter happy. Brother Yuan is indeed mighty. This movie has been very popular since its release. Once the special effects company was brought out, everyone knew that this movie was a big production, and they couldn't help but start to envy it. Regardless of whether this movie is good or bad, one thing is certain. It is absolutely a hit. As long as she plays a role in this movie, an 18th-tier actress can instantly rise several notches. So the artists from various companies also started to stir. Many companies began to contact Lumi and asked if they were looking for roles. Su Yuan did select a few child actors and left the rest to Xin Ziulai to decide. After all, she had a good eye. Zoour, can I try out the role of foster mother? Although the script was not made public, the director, who had a good relationship with Wang Kong in private, was fortunate enough to know the contents of the script. They all know that this is a very good script. As long as the filming technique is not bad and the special effects can keep up a little bit, they can definitely live a great life with this momentum. So they also talked about this matter with their agency. Many artists also took this matter seriously. Some used their connections to ask for help, and some invited people to dinner. But those who really have no connections have no choice but to openly start at Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter on social platforms. Zhao Qingsu saw that the person who tagged her was a popular young actress recently, so she replied, "I'm really sorry, this role has already been played." "Is that so? Let's work together again next time we have a chance." Xiaohua originally wanted to give Zhao Qingsu a try, and now she didn't feel disappointed after hearing what she said. Instead, she felt that Zhao Qingsu was very approachable. She couldn't help but ask curiously, "Can I gossip a little about who this person is?" "It's De Tianxian. So it's my senior tilde. His temperament is very suitable for this movie. I wish the movie a big hit in advance." "What? De Tianxian is also going to act in this movie? That's great. I like De Tianxian. I like the two little ones and the big Tianxian very much. I will definitely go to see this movie when it is released." Netizens also gave very good feedback to Jing Tian. However, Jing Tian didn't feel so good about it. Originally, she didn't think there was anything special about taking on this role, so she didn't tell anyone about it. In addition, in order to free up some time for the filming of this movie, she has been frantically rushing to attend announcements these past 2 days. Basically, she rushed to attend all the announcements that could be rushed in advance. She was so busy that she had to eat in the car, not to mention looking at her phone. As a result, when she finished her work and picked up her phone, it exploded. "De Tianxian, congratulations, you got such an important role." "So happy, De Tianxian." "De Tianxian, I remember you have a good relationship with Yuan Ji Qingsu, right? Are there any roles missing? Can you help me ask, please?" "De Tianxian, you are going to be famous again." Chapter 395, What do you mean by good? At first, Jing Tian was confused and didn't know what they were talking about, but she soon understood. It turned out to be because of the adoptive mother role. If she hadn't received so many messages, She really wouldn't have known that there were so many people competing for this role. Jing Tian's agent also thinks she is very promising. I've also taken a look at this role. As long as you play it well, your international status will be raised several levels in the future. Even if you want to make movies abroad, it will be easy to open up new avenues. Other artists need her as an agent to work hard to get resources for them, but her own artists can easily get such great roles, which makes her feel less worried. I see. Jing Tian nodded, picked up her phone and sent a message to Zhao Qingsu. Zhu'er, thank you so much for giving me the role of foster mother Tilda. I'll treat you to dinner later. I'll go to your house. You're going to my house to treat me to a meal. Oh, don't worry about so many details. The food out there isn't tasty, and only your house has apples that can help you lose weight. Are you here to eat for free? You're the only one who can describe eating for free as so refreshing and refined. Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly. Anyway, the opening ceremony is about to begin, and your schedule has been adjusted, right? If you are free, come to my house for dinner and bring Ping An and Rui to memorize the lines together. It is better to obey than to be respectful. After communicating with Zhao Qingsu, Jing Tian came to Zhao Qingsu's house in the evening with the script. After everyone had a lively meal together, Jing Tian took the two little ones to memorize their lines together. It's different from the last variety show and guest appearance. The variety show can be performed freely, and the guest appearance does not have a very long plot in total, and of course there are few lines. Because it is just a foreshadowing of the heroine's childhood, the plot and emotions are very simple, and the two little ones have a high degree of completion. However, although this script is just a children's movie, the core of the script is something that only adults can understand. Rather than saying it's just a children's fantasy movie, it's more like a reality documentary disguised as a children's fantasy movie. On the surface, this movie has a lot of funny moments, but as the saying goes, the core of all comedies is tragedy. In addition to memorizing the lines completely, the two kids also have to understand some things that they may not be able to understand at their age. Understanding and expressing it is not easy. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had no experience in this area and could not teach the two little ones anything, so they asked Jing Tian to teach them. It will be much easier to shoot if you are familiar with the script in advance. In order to give them a very quiet environment to familiarize themselves with the script, Zhao Qingsu asked the three of them to stay in the study. She and Su Yuan were sitting leisurely in the living room watching TV and eating fruit. However, after they had looked for a while, they saw Rui running down with her short legs. She was holding a bag of potato chips in her hand. Why did you come down so soon? Where are Godmother and Ping An? Zhao Qingsu asked curiously. My godmother is explaining the script to my brother. I have almost memorized my lines, so I will take a short break. Rui held up the potato chips in her hand and rushed over to feed Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu a slice each with her pink little hands. Mom and Dad, these are the last potato chips I have left. I'll give you one each. Rui is so good. Although the two little ones are obedient and well-behaved, they still have some childish problems, such as their love for junk food. However, it is children's nature to like eating junk food. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu did not discourage them outright, but simply set a fixed amount of snacks for them every day. Seeing that the little girl was willing to share her last bite of snack with them, the two felt quite touched. Especially Su Yuan, he hugged the little girl to his thighs and kissed her soft face fiercely. My daughter has grown up. Come on, if you are tired, then take a good rest and eat some fruit. Zhao Qingsu was also quite touched. She stuffed a strawberry into the little girl's hand and watched the little girl chew it happily. However, this happy atmosphere did not last long and was interrupted. Ping An from upstairs ran downstairs with his short legs, not caring that the script had fallen, leaving Jing Tian chasing him in confusion. Ping An, don't run so fast, can you wait for your godmother? But Ping An ignored Jing Tian. After he ran to the living room, he took a look at the bag of potato chips on the table and began to question Rui with a frown. Is this bag of potato chips mine? You secretly took the potato chips out of my cabinet and ate them. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were immediately confused. But just when they were about to question Rui about this, they saw Rui speak confidently. It wasn't me who secretly ate the potato chips in your cabinet. It was all of us who ate the potato chips together. If you don't believe me, ask Mom and Dad. After saying that, she blinked her big eyes with an innocent look on her face and looked at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, they were actually dragged by Rui to become his accomplices. Mom and Dad, woo-woo-woo, did you really eat my potato chips too? Those were my potato chips for today. I didn't want to eat them during the day and saved them for the evening after I finished memorizing the script. I didn't expect to see that my potato chips were gone just after I finished memorizing the script. Woo-woo-woo. Maybe it was because he was too obsessed with potato chips. When Ping'an thought about Ruyi happily eating her potato chips while he was seriously memorizing the script just now, and that his parents were accomplices, his eyes were suddenly filled with tears. His pitiful look made Zhao Qingsu feel distressed. Mom and Dad were wrong about this. Mom and Dad shouldn't have eaten your potato chips. Can I give you another bag of potato chips? After saying that, he glanced at Su Yuan. You're right. I'll give you another bag of potato chips. After saying that, he looked at Ruyi seriously and said, Ruyi, you stole your brother's potato chips and dragged your parents into it. As a punishment, you will not have potato chips tomorrow. Do you have any objection? Ruyi moved her little mouth and wanted to quibble, but seeing Ping'an crying so sadly, she finally nodded and said, Okay. What do you mean by okay? Today I'm going to teach you a lesson. Su Yuan asked Zhao Qingsu to coax Ping'an while he took Ruyi upstairs. However, after going upstairs, Su Yuan changed his serious expression and gave Ruyi a thumbs up. Little girl, you have learned to drag others into trouble at such a young age. You are worthy of being my daughter, but you are not allowed to cheat Ping'an next time. In Su Yuan's opinion, although kindness and honesty are good virtues, being too kind and honest will make you easily bullied. Of course, he secretly hoped that his son would be more thoughtful. Chapter 396, Godmother is waiting for you to buy me a plane. After spending almost a week working on the script, the day chosen by the director for the opening ceremony arrived. The crew members held a grand opening ceremony and then officially started filming. Card. 1 pass. Let's do this here. Let me show you. The camera is here and your expression should be just right when you start from here. Although the script of this children's fantasy film was very well written and the director liked it very much, the performances in it were too difficult. The director estimated that it would take at least half a year to complete the entire film. Moreover, the main characters of the film are a group of children, and there are many things that children may not be able to perform. He thought it would take a long time to discipline these children. But who knows, Ping'an and Ruyi can get through most of the time. The filming went exceptionally smoothly. It was originally planned to take half a year, but it was completed in 3 months. In addition to being shocked and delighted, the director was even happier about the 2 little ones and Jing Tian. Originally, we planned to spend this winter break in the studio, but because all the scenes were filmed in advance, the winter break time was free. Apart from learning piano, the 2 little ones don't like the winter climate in Shanghai very much. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu discussed it and decided that since they had nothing else to do, they might as well find a warm place to travel. After looking at the map, Su Yuan finally chose Hawaii. Why choose this place? There are many warmer places in China. Why not just travel in China? Because I have a house in this place. Su Yuan's words made Zhao Qingsu shut up. Since there is a house, they might as well live there. It just so happens that they have never lived in the house there before, and it would be a waste to leave it empty forever. After making the decision, Su Yuan called the person in charge there and asked them to clean up the house in advance. Zhao Qingsu was packing her things while chatting with Jing Tian. Jing Tian was eager to come to the house for a free meal. I originally adjusted my schedule for 6 months, but I didn't expect to finish filming in 3 months. I feel so lucky. If this is the case, I can be lazy and rest for 3 months. I have already thought about eating and drinking for 2 months, and then using the remaining 2 months to lose weight. This kind of life is simply perfect. It's certainly no fun to eat and drink to your heart's content alone. It would be perfect if I could be together with Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and the 2 little ones. You just eat and drink all day long. Don't you think you can't get married? If you can't get married, shouldn't you work hard to get married? Zhao Qingsu was somewhat helpless about Jing Tian. How about I arrange a dozen blind dates for you in the next 3 months? What's the point of a blind date? I don't have any idea about love at all now. After dating Zhang Qi for so long, they still ended up breaking up. Jing Tian really gave a lot in this relationship. Even though the 2 of them told the outside world that they had broken up peacefully, and even issued a notice wishing each other well. There was no hysteria and no entanglement. But this kind of breakup is often the most heartbreaking. After Jing Tian cried, she worked very hard in the following year. Although she filmed one drama after another and even had a couple in one of the dramas, she was actually alone most of the time at work. Of course, I often envy Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu for having both a partner and children. You can't possibly lose hope in relationships after failing once, right? Besides, even though you two broke up, aren't you both doing well? I think it's been a long time and you should start a new journey. You can't just hang yourself on a tree and die silently without the other person knowing. Zhao Qingsu persuaded her. You can't be alone forever, right? Look, Chi-Han is no longer single. I think it's okay to be alone for the rest of my life. Anyway, I have money and a career, so it's fine to be alone for the rest of my life. I really don't have any interest in men right now. To be honest, if possible, the one thing I really want to do right now is to have a child. Jing Tian narrowed her eyes. It would be best if the child is as smart as the two little ones. But if they are not smart, cute is fine. Anyway, if I find a man with a better appearance to borrow sperm from, then there is a high probability that the child born to that man and me will be very good looking. Are you thinking too far ahead? I want a child more and more. How about I find a man to lend me sperm in the next 3 months? Preferably one from abroad because I want a mixed-race child. Forget it, don't think too much about it. We are going to travel to Hawaii tomorrow. Do you want to come with us? Anyway, the house that Su Yuan mentioned is, at the very least, a villa, and it certainly has no shortage of guest rooms. Okay, then of course, I'd love to go along. Jing Tian happily agreed. So the next day, several people flew directly to Hawaii on a private plane. Looking at the blue sky and white clouds outside the plane window, Jing Tian stretched her waist comfortably on the sofa of the plane, feeling very good. Brother Yuan, this plane is really comfortable. The first-class cabin is nothing compared to this. If I take this plane to catch up with the announcement, I won't be exhausted like a dog every day. Godmother, if you were to take this plane to catch a job, the money you earned might not be enough to afford the plane. Rui counted the money with Jing Tian. The annual parking fee for this plane is about 3 million plus the fuel cost, crew fees, and maintenance costs. The annual cost is almost 8 million. Are you sure you can afford such a plane? How come you can already calculate this at such a young age? Jing Tian pinched Rui's face with a bit of frustration. I wonder what will happen to you when you grow up. Then of course I have to be smarter. Rui's face was full of pride. I've already thought about it. When I grow up, I will go out and do business. I will make a lot of money, hundreds of millions every year. When I'm that rich, I can buy you a plane. Okay, then Godmother will wait for you to buy me a plane. Jing Tian was very amused by Rui's words and turned to ask Ping An. Rui told you that she would buy me a plane when you grow up. So what will you buy me when you grow up? Chapter 397, Sorry to bother you. When I grow up, I will buy you clothes, lipstick, and bags. Ping An frowned and thought for a while. I heard from my mother yesterday that you can't find a boyfriend now. If you can't find a boyfriend now, you probably won't have a husband in the future. Then when I grow up, I will be your husband and buy you clothes, lipsticks, and bags. Don't worry, you can buy whatever you want. I won't blame you for spending money recklessly. Ping An's words made Jing Tian feel at a loss whether to laugh or cry. But she also cherished the two little ones even more. Soon after the plane landed at the airport, the group took a car and then changed to a boat to the small island of Kano, one of the Hawaiian islands. The scenery of Kano Island is the best place around. Because of its superior geographical location and unique climate, there is no place in the world that can replace it. In addition, it has a historic beach hotel and beautiful scenery, and countless people come here to travel every year. There are only a few residents left on this small island, except for a large beach hotel. This group of residents are not the original inhabitants of the island, but some wealthy people who came here later when the island was opened for construction. These wealthy people built many beautiful villas on the island. But in reality, after the rich built their villas on the island, they only came here occasionally for vacation. Many rich people even completely forgot that they had such a villa, so the villas were rented out all year round. Su Yuan's villa is among them. It's just that he doesn't like to rent out his house, especially a place like a villa, so his villa is empty all year round. He just sends people to clean it regularly every month and has someone inspect it once a year. It is still intact now. Wow, this place is amazing with blue skies, white clouds, and beaches. Most importantly, there are no paparazzi here, and no one will secretly take photos of me. This is simply my paradise. After all, she is a very famous actress in China. When she goes shopping in China, she is often recognized by people and they either take pictures of her or ask her to take photos with them. To be honest, this made Jing Tian very annoyed. It's okay for those who want her to take photos with others. At least she can find her own angle when taking photos with others. What I hate most is the kind of people who see me, but don't come up to say hello and just take pictures secretly. It is always easy for her to secretly take some ugly photos of herself and then upload them to the internet. saying that her face has sagged or something like that. Although there are so many such things that they don't have much impact on her later, she will still feel very unhappy when she sees someone post her ugly photos on the internet. But there is no such trouble on this island, because there are basically no people on this island and the scenery is beautiful. She doesn't even need to wear sunglasses when she goes out and can have fun on the beach. I can't wait to go to the beach to bask in the sun. Let's put our luggage down first and then go to the beach to play Tilda Tilda. Jing Tian happily took off his sunglasses, then prepared to go in with his luggage. But just as she took off her sunglasses, she heard a very deep voice. "Are you the actress Jing Tian?" Jing Tian instantly covered her face. "I'm not me, I'm not me, I'm not me. We all know you and we love watching your dramas, so we won't make a mistake about you. You are Jing Tian." The family smiled slightly when they saw her appearance. The two of them are also Chinese, and they look like a very well-educated couple. They are holding hands with two children, little boys of the same age. Both the husband and wife look quite ordinary, but the two little boys are very delicate and handsome. Even at such a young age, you can already see that they will be troublemakers when they grow up. After seeing Jing Tian, one of the little boys came up to her happily and said with a smile, "Big sister, this is the first time I see you in real life. You are even prettier than on TV. I live across from you. Can we go to the beach together when the time comes?" Seeing that the couple did not make any requests for taking photos and instead got along like friends, Jing Tian did not resist much. She nodded, "Okay, but we just got here now, so we probably need to pack up today. I'll play with you guys when I have time." "Okay, Mom and Dad said we'll be on vacation here for 2 months, and we'll have to make it through the entire long winter before we go back. So we have plenty of time to play together, and you can come to our house for dinner when you're free. My mom's cooking is delicious." Although the two children look almost identical, one of them is a complete chatterbox, while the other is much quieter, always holding his mother's hand and never speaking. "Okay, I understand. Then you must come over then. I can treat all of you to a meal." After chatting for a while at the door, the hostess opposite looked at Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and Jing Tian with some apology. "Our child talks too much. It's really disturbing, but what the child said is not wrong. If you are free, you can come to our house for dinner. The Chinese food I cook is so-so." "Good." After the couple left with the two little boys, the few people finally arrived inside the villa. Looking at this villa which, although a bit old, was still well maintained, Jing Tian happily walked around for a while and finally returned to her guest room to put her luggage away. Then she took off all her thick clothes and changed into a cool bikini with a layer of gauze dress on the outside. "This place is really nice. If I have time in the future, I would also like to come here for vacation. I heard that the house here is rented. 2 months' rent should not be cheap. I will transfer it to you when the time comes." At first, Jing Tian didn't think too much about it and thought that she should stay in a hotel when she came here for vacation. But she didn't expect that they lived in a villa. When they were chatting at the door just now, she heard the couple say that the villa was rented, so she naturally thought that the villa that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu brought her to was also rented. "Rented." After hearing what she said, Zhao Qingsu on the opposite side was stunned for a moment, then shook her head. "How can this villa be rented? It belongs to us." "Oh, sorry to bother you." Jing Tian apologized for asking another stupid question, but quickly put the matter behind her. "Okay, my landlady, can we go out and play now?" Chapter 398, Let's Make a Bet. Let's go. The villa they lived in was very close to the beach, only 20 minutes walk away. We basically didn't meet anyone along the way, with blue sky, white clouds, and sea breeze. However, as they walked, Jing Tian became unhappy. "I thought there would be a lot of handsome, muscular men in Hawaii, but why are all the few people I occasionally meet here old men with big bellies? Even the young people don't have a good figure. They really don't pay attention to exercise. Have you finally figured it out and want to find a boyfriend? Didn't I say I was looking for someone to borrow my seed?" "Mom, what is borrowing seed?" Rui and Ping'an listened to their conversation and quickly grasped the key point of the painting. "Is it something fun?" Zhao Qingsu glared at Jing Tian fiercely. "Don't say these inexplicable things in front of children. Be careful not to lead them astray." Su Yuan smiled and explained. "You two are usually so smart. How come you don't know what borrowing seeds means now? As the name suggests, it means borrowing seeds. Let's see if the people over there have watermelon seeds or something like that. Then we can ask them to borrow some seeds and plant some fruit in the yard." "I see." Rui nodded thoughtfully, took Su Yuan's hand, and whispered to him, "Dad, although I know you lied to me, I know that what you said was a white lie. Su Yuan. The five people chatted and laughed and soon arrived at the beach. Because the cost of staying on this island is quite high, even though many people come here to travel, the number of people is limited, so the beach is relatively quiet. Su Yuan hadn't swum for a long time, so he pulled Zhao Qingsu to go swimming. The task of taking care of the child fell on Jing Tian's shoulders. Jing Tian wanted to watch them, but it was obvious that Rui and Ping En were disgusted. "We are already big enough, so we don't need you to take care of us. You should go find your handsome boy to borrow some seeds. The two of us can just play with the sand here." Playing with sand is also one of their hobbies. Jing Tian felt very embarrassed by what the two little guys said. "I say, aren't you two little brats going too far? You can play with sand, but why can't I? I like playing with sand, too." "You don't like playing with sand. You just like burying yourself in the sand." Jing Tian. After a moment of silence, Jing Tian actually found a place near the two little ones, buried himself in the sand and went to bask in the sun. The two little ones were playing with their castles on the beach. Unlike ordinary children, the two seemed to have a natural talent in this area, and soon they built a sand castle that was almost half a person's height. Sand is very soft and will collapse easily if nothing is holding it down. So if you simply build a sand castle, you can't build it very high. At most, it will be up to the height of your calves. But the big castle built by the two little guys was tall and exquisite. Their castle quickly attracted the attention of many people on the beach. Some people even came over to take pictures of the sand castle and praised them for their ingenuity. "It's you." Not long after, a little boy came running up to the two little ones. That little boy was the talkative little boy they met at their doorstep that afternoon. The little boy was amazed when he saw the castle they built. "Can I play with you? I'm too bored alone." "You're alone? What about your parents and your brothers?" Rui asked in confusion. "My parents' favorite thing to do is to read books on the beach. I originally wanted them to tell me stories, but they didn't want to. They only liked to read their own storybooks, which I couldn't understand at all. As for my younger brother, he never liked to talk, let alone play with me. His favorite thing to do every day was to read books." The little boy sighed in annoyance. "My brother likes to watch at home. If Mom and Dad didn't force him to go out, he probably wouldn't go out at all. So I'm the only one playing." "Well, you can play with us then." "Great, what are your names?" "My name is Shen Zinglin." "My name is Su Yaochen, but you can call me Ping En." "My name is Su Yaoking, and my nickname is Rui." "You actually have nicknames?" "I don't even have a nickname. My parents usually call me Lanlin." They were all children of similar age with similar interests and hobbies, so they quickly got along well and happily built castles in the sand. The red envelopes became more and more luxurious and big. After playing for about 2 hours, the little ones were tired. When the Shen couple discovered that Shen Zinglin was missing, they ran over to look for her. After finding Shen Zinglin playing in the sand with the two little ones, they invited them over for snacks. To be honest, the two kids were a little hungry after playing for so long. After asking Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu for their opinions, they happily followed them to eat snacks. The snacks were small cakes made by the Shen couple. "It's just a small one, but it's enough for 4 children." Mr. and Mrs. Shen divided the cake into 4 equal portions and gave 1 portion to each child. The 2 little ones ate with Shen Zinglin, while the remaining little boy sat aside. Rui asked curiously, "Is he your brother? Why doesn't he come and eat with us?" "He has a very strange personality. He never likes to play with me. He always ignores me when I talk to him." Shen Zinglin curled her lips. "Besides, he has no spirit of sharing at all. Sometimes when I'm really bored and want to read with him, he won't let me read, let alone share his snacks with me." "Is it that exaggerated?" Whether on the set or in the kindergarten, Rui met mostly extroverted children. Even the introverted children were not so introverted. So she became curious about the silent child. Does he really not share at all? "Yeah, how could I lie to you about this? If you don't believe me, you can go and try it. Just see if he is willing to share his cake with you. I bet he definitely won't," Shen Zinglin said while eating the cake in her hand. "Okay, let's make a bet then." Rui quickly accepted the challenge and stood up with a smile. Chapter 399, This is also okay. She quickly walked towards the little boy who was sitting alone. When the little boy saw her coming, he frowned, turned around, and ignored her completely. As for the cake he was given, he didn't eat it and just put it aside. Rui hesitated for a moment, then went over to greet him. "Hello, my name is Su Yaoking, nicknamed Rui. Let's get to know each other and become friends." Faced with a soft, beautiful, and delicate girl who looks like a doll, it would be difficult for even adults, let alone children, to refuse. But the little boy was very calm, Shen Zingle. So your name is Shen Zingle, what a nice name. Can I call you Leal from now on? Whatever. Leal, don't you like cake? With her cute appearance, Rui is loved and welcomed at home, in kindergarten or on the set. This was the first time I met someone who was so cold towards me. I couldn't help but start asking him questions out of interest. Why don't you like to play with us? But if Rui continued to ask, Shen Zingle simply ignored her, leaving her feeling very bored. She turned her head and glanced at Shen Zinglin not far away. Shen Zinglin had already guessed that she would be frustrated, and she happily made a face at her. This grimace made Rui, who had wanted to give up, suddenly lose her composure. Wouldn't it be a pity if she just gave up on such a thing? She didn't want to lose the bet. Her beautiful dark eyes, as if frosted, turned, and she had an idea almost instantly. She slowly approached Shen Zingle, took a look at the cake in her hand, and asked, "Do you want to eat the strawberries on the cake?" Shen Zingle shook his head subconsciously. "No. Thank you, tilde." But the next second, in front of Shen Zingle, he saw Rui smilingly using her fork to pick up the strawberries from his cake and put them on her plate. He didn't expect someone to be so shameless. He opened his eyes wide in shock and looked at Rui in disbelief. Facing his shock, Rui seemed very calm and confident. "You were the one who said you didn't want to eat it, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with what I did, right?" Shen Zingle was silent for a second, unable to refute. But he thought quickly and asked back, "Do you want to eat the cake?" "Eat." Rui nodded, and without saying a word, she took Shen Zingle's cake from his side, smiling. "Thank you so much. I didn't expect you to be such a nice person. Lanlin said you don't like to share, but in my opinion, you are a really nice person." How can someone be so shameless? Shen Zingle was a little depressed. Looking at Rui's cheerful figure running away, he lowered his eyelashes and comforted himself, at least. At least she was praising others. This is the first time someone has praised him like this. "How's it going? I got his cake." After successfully getting the cake from Shen Zingle, Rui ran to Shen Zinglin to show off. "Isn't it great?" "Impossible. He couldn't possibly give you the cake." Shen Zinglin looked at the cake in Rui's hand and couldn't accept this fact. He was Shen Zingle's biological brother. Although his younger brother has been quiet since childhood, he actually doesn't like him that much. But his parents told him that his younger brother was actually very pitiful and needed care, and asked him to talk and play with his younger brother more. So he had no choice but to often go and play with his younger brother. But every time, yes, every time he teased him and wanted to ask him for something to eat or a book to read, he would block him and say, "If you want something to eat, go find Mom. If you want to buy a book, go find Dad. I don't have any here." Is this what a younger brother should say? But he, who had no spirit of sharing at all, actually shared the cake. The whole cake with Rui, whom he had only met twice. This is so unfair, isn't it? What kind of lousy brother is this? How is it impossible? Isn't this what he gave me? You saw the whole process, so don't cheat. Rui touched his chin in a serious manner and said, "Since you lost the bet, you have to promise me one thing." "All right." Although she was extremely reluctant to believe this was the truth, the problem was that the fact was right in front of her, so Shen Zinglin had no choice but to agree to her. "Okay, then what do you want me to do?" "I haven't decided what to do yet." Rui thought for a moment and said, "I'll tell you next time when I think of something." "That's fine too." After losing a bet for no apparent reason, Shen Zinglin suddenly felt that the small cake in his hand was no longer fragrant. He looked at Rui unwillingly. "I still feel something is wrong. How did you get the cake from him? This is really abnormal." "She must have cheated to get this cake." Pinyin beside him spoke silently. "I don't believe that others gave her the cake just because she said a few words." Pinyin felt sad when he thought about how Rui had secretly used various schemes and tricks to cheat him out of potato chips several times. How can this kind of thing, which is consensual, be called cheating? Rui blinked her big eyes and told them the details without hiding anything. After he finished speaking, he looked at them confidently and said, "This should be okay, right?" Although he lost the bet, Shen Zinglin was very unconvinced, but he was willing to accept the defeat. He did not deny the debt and just said to Rui, "Although you beat me, you must be in trouble. Your parents will definitely teach you a lesson when they go back." "My dad wouldn't do that." "Yes." Shen Zinglin counted on her fingers and said, "You don't know that Shen Zingle's favorite thing to do is to complain. No matter what I do, he will definitely tell my parents. My parents are very protective of him and will help him every time. Anyway, my parents will tell your parents that you bullied my brother." What a mess. I'm completely confused. Rui ate the cake nonchalantly and thought for a moment, "I don't think he will go and complain." Ping En is the only one who complains. You only know how to talk about me. Ping En, who was innocently implicated, stood up angrily and said, I'm going to go over and tell my parents what you said about me. Come back, I won't say anything to you. Rui imitated Zhao Qingsu's sigh and pulled Ping En, stuffing her cake into his hands. Okay, I'll share my cake with you, don't complain all the time. Chapter 400, do you want to go out and play too? Seeing that Ping En finally decided not to complain, Rui walked towards Shen Zingle with a somewhat sad look on her face, holding the small cake she had just tricked out of her. It's really hard to have fun with these nagging people. Each one is better at complaining than the other. She cursed a few times in her heart, but finally showed a beautiful smile in front of Shen Zingle. Here, I'll return your cake to you, Tilda. Shen Zingle looked at her in confusion, not understanding why she wanted to return the things she had taken. Just take it if you give it to me. I was just joking with you just now. I don't really want your cake. Oh. Shen Zingle silently took his small cake without saying anything. He looked up and found that Rui had not left yet. He asked in confusion, why don't you leave? I'm not leaving because I don't want to leave yet. You really want to drive me away. Rui sat next to him and asked shyly, you won't complain to your parents about this, right? After thinking for a while, Shen Zingle shook his head. That's good. Hearing his answer, Rui finally breathed a sigh of relief and extended her little finger to him. Then let's make a pinky promise. No. Shen Zingle refused without a second thought and repeated it again in a heavy voice. No. Yes. No. If you don't make a pinky promise, you're going to file a complaint. After 3 seconds of silence, Shen Zingle gave up. He reluctantly, perfunctorily, and impatiently stretched out his little finger and pinky pinched it with Rui. Having received the promise, Rui skipped away contentedly. Almost everyone had a great time that day. After returning home in the evening, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu took the 2 children to take a bath and go to bed. However, the Shen couple who lived opposite their house looked at their little son with shock on their faces. Mom and Dad, I want to go to the beach again tomorrow. Everything was normal and there was nothing special about it. But before going to bed, my youngest son suddenly said this. This surprised the couple very much. This is the first time that my child has asked to go out on his own initiative. Shen Zingle has suffered from autism since childhood and basically doesn't like to talk. His twin brother has been able to communicate with people fluently, but he can't even utter a complete sentence. The word he says most is no. Sometimes I don't like to talk to people. Although he was gifted in writing and could recognize words quickly, he couldn't do without communicating with others, so they always tried their best to find topics to talk to him. But he basically paid little attention. But he didn't like going out. Every time he went out, he looked reluctant, and then he was forcibly dragged out by them. This was the first time their son asked to go out on his own initiative. That's great. Why are you going out? Hearing his brother say this, Shen Zingle, who was standing next to him, was also very curious. Could it be because of Rui? Shen Zingle ignored him and went to sleep covered with his own blanket. But the Shen couple asked curiously, Rui, that little girl. Seeing that her parents were curious, Shen Zingle, who was a chatterbox, couldn't help but tell them what happened on the beach today. After the couple heard what Shen Zingle said, they were silent for a while, patted Shen Zingle on the shoulder and said, Go to bed quickly. The next morning, when Zhao Qingsu got up, she found the Shen couple appearing at the door carrying a bunch of fruits and snacks. She quickly invited them to come in and sit down. You guys are here so early? Have you had breakfast? Otherwise, have breakfast here. We won't have breakfast or anything like that. We've already eaten at home. Take these things. They're just a token of my appreciation. The Shen couple handed the things to Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu accepted it with a smile. We are all neighbors. Why are you being so polite? Come over if you want to play next time. No need to be so polite. You guys are so nice. The Shen couple had actually seen news about Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu in China. It's just that the 2 of them were busy with work and children and didn't pay much attention to them. Now that I have really interacted with Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan, I realize that they are really nice people. What's wrong with that? It's like this. This time we came here, in addition to bringing you some fresh fruits, we also want to let your children interact more with our children. Mr. and Mrs. Shen added, You saw our child yesterday. He is 1 year older than your Ping and Ruyi. It's nice for several children to play together here. Of course, they can have more contact. Zhao Qingsu nodded and agreed. Let's go out and play together when we are free. Okay. After confirming this matter, the Shen couple left the Su family and returned to the villa they rented. There were two small figures standing at the door. One is Shen Zingle holding a book in his hand, and the other is Shen Zinglin holding a remote control car. Shen Zinglin kept mumbling, "Brother, I'm telling you to stop reading. What's so interesting about it? I saw on TV that if you read too much, you'll become a nerd. How can any girl like you then?" After being with Shen Zingle for a long time, Shen Zinglin has become accustomed to talking to himself without getting any response, so he didn't think that Shen Zingle would agree to him at all. But who knew that Shen Zingle would actually speak? Instead, his tone was very serious. "Yes, Nizai Okian has fallen in love with Ning Kaichen." Perhaps because she didn't expect her brother to pay attention to her, Shen Zinglin was stunned for a moment before asking, "Who is Nizai Okian? Is your eyesight not very good?" This time Shen Zingle stopped talking. Shen Zinglin suspected that it was an illusion, but when he saw his parents coming back, he forgot about it and skipped over. "Mom and Dad, when are we going to go out and play with them? I want to build a castle with them. I want to bring all my tools with me today. Get me a small cart and I'll push it over by myself." "Good." While answering, Mr. and Mrs. Shen looked at their youngest son Shen Zingle, who was standing at the door. Shen Zingle also looked up from the book and looked at them. He never cared about going out before, but it seems that he cares about it this time, which makes Mr. and Mrs. Shen even happier. "Lula, do you want to go out and play too?" Although Shen Zingle didn't say anything, he nodded. "Okay, let's go out now. Lanlin needs to take his sand-playing tools. What do you want to take?" It doesn't matter whether their son speaks or not. What matters is that he pays attention to them. Mr. and Mrs. Shen happily prepared the things they needed for going out. Chapter 401, Do You Know These People? Pointing to the book in his arms, Shen Zingle's meaning was very clear. "Are you still reading? Isn't it boring to read all the time? Otherwise, can Mom and Dad prepare a set of sand-playing tools for you? Then you can play with everyone." In fact, it was the Shen couple who were most afraid that their son would become a nerd. They tried their best to enlighten him. "Look, Rui and Pingyan have good personalities and are smart. Lanlin plays well with them. You can also play with them. The sand pile you made today will definitely be bigger and more beautiful. Don't you want to give it a try?" "Shake your head." "Oh well." The two looked at their son with some disappointment as he continued reading his book, then turned around to pack up. Considering that there were a few more people today, the Shen couple specially prepared some extra drinks and snacks to bring over. Because we arrived earlier, there were fewer people on the beach than yesterday. The Shen couple set up a parasol on the beach, got a few beach chairs, unloaded the toys of their eldest son Shen Zinglin, and arranged a play area for their youngest son Shen Zingle. It took a long time. Shen Zinglin ran around on the beach holding her little shovel. "Mom, when will Ping and Ruya come?" "This." The Shen couple shook their heads. "We don't know about that either, but they should come over to play." "Well." Hearing his parents' ambiguous answers, Shen Zinglin knew that he would have to play by himself today. He sighed like a little adult and complained to his parents. "I've known for a long time that you guys are unreliable. Now it seems that you are indeed unreliable." The Shen couple looked at each other, and both slapped him on the back of the head. However, Shen Zinglin was not angry, because he saw a family of 4 walking over not far away, and immediately ran over there happily. "Hello, Uncle Sue and Auntie. I hope you are here safely and happily. Shall we continue to play? I brought a lot of tools today. We can make all the furniture inside the castle today, and we can also play house." "Playing house is too childish." "How can it be childish? I have already thought of what we are going to play. I will play the role of a super racing driver, Dad. Rui will play the role of a mom who cooks at home, and you will play the role of our disobedient son." Pingyan frowned. "Why should I play the son?" "You play the son with great talent." To appease him, Shen Zinglin added, "It's a talent for racing. This way we can compete together. What do you think?" "It's okay." Pingyan thought about it for a moment, and his eyes lit up. "Then we can take a break for one track." "Yeah, I even brought a stroller." The 2 little guys hit it off almost immediately, so the deal was settled, and the 3 of them went out to play happily. Seeing the children having fun, Su Yuan and his friend were also happy to relax. After all, there is not much time for such a rare 2-person world tilde. By the way, why don't you see Jing Tian? It seemed like she went out early in the morning and no one knew where she went. But Kana Island is so small, where could she go? "I don't know. She said she wanted a romantic encounter, which she wouldn't be able to have if she was with us." Zhao Qingsu spread her hands. "Let her do whatever she wants. After all, she's already grown up, so she needs to have a second life, right?" "The second life?" Su Yuan's face was full of resentment when he talked about this. He touched Zhao Qingsu's slightly bulging belly and said, You little troublemaker, it's because of you that I, your father, have become a widow. Just wait and see how I will deal with you when you grow up. Banged. Zhao Qingsu slapped the back of his hand and said coquettishly, "What nonsense are you talking about? If you keep talking nonsense like this, I will. I will take the baby away." Well, Su Yuan was somewhat resentful. Read less of those messy novels about running away with the ball in the future. The men in those novels are so incompetent. They let their wives run away even though they are so powerful. Do you think I can let you run away? Humph, you still dare to have a problem with me. Don't dare. What? Dad, the track is fixed. Although Ping An was reluctant to call Shen Zinglin Dad. At first, after playing for a while, the two of them gradually got into the groove and became like a real father and son. They even forgot to repair the house and were very enthusiastic about building the racetrack. They were also thinking about organizing some kind of international racing competition. The presence of the mother, played by Ruyi, gradually became less and less, and in the end, she could only cook at home and wait for the two to come back. She felt the game was boring, and seeing Shen Zinglin next to her throwing a book next to her, she simply leaned over and started reading. It was a storybook with only text. It must have been read many times and there were annotations on it. Really, you look so brainless, but I didn't expect you to be so serious about reading. Ruyi muttered to herself as she slowly began to read. She thought the storybook was quite interesting, but she became a little confused as she read on, because there are many words in this book that she doesn't know. She originally wanted to ask her parents, but when she saw her father having a water fight in the sea, she immediately curled her lips and said, "Childish." He looked at Shen Zingle not far away again. He is a nerd, but when I saw his sullen face, as if he didn't want others to disturb him, I also felt that it was not good to always disturb others. So she thought about it, stood up, and walked towards Shen Zinglin with a book in her hand. Lanlin, stop playing for now. I'm your husband, you can't talk to me like that." Shen Zinglin and Ping An were standing at the starting point of the track, imitating the race and having a great time. They were very unhappy to see Ruyi coming over. "You go home first. We are doing business. When we are done, we will go home for dinner. Stop talking nonsense." Ruyi walked up to Shen Zinglin angrily and grabbed her ear. "You are too much. I don't want to disturb you guys from playing games. I just want to ask you a few new words. Tell me first and then go play." All right, Tigress." Shen Zinglin grumbled unhappily. "What characters don't you know? I'll tell you." "These." Ruyi pointed out the words one by one to him. "Do you recognize them?" "How can I know him? It's so difficult." Shen Zinglin waved her hands and said, "I don't know any of them. Please don't bother us anymore. Go home and make dinner for us. We are very tired today and we will eat a lot when we get home tonight." Bang! As soon as he finished speaking, Ruyi slapped him again. "This is your book and you even marked it. Who would believe you if you said you didn't know it?" Chapter 402. What a weird person. "You hit me." Shen Zinglin covered her arm in grievance. "This is not my book, it's Shen Zingle's. Only he likes to read books with so many words. Why did you hit me?" "Oh, sorry, I called the wrong person." Ruyi glared at him. "Who told you not to tell me about this earlier? The game is about to start. I won't bother with you, a tigress. Just go home quickly." Shen Zinglin didn't care about that much. He waved his hand and was about to send Ruyi away. Ruyi rolled her eyes and returned to her seat. Shen Zingle had bullied him yesterday, and he didn't like others to disturb him. Ruyi was too embarrassed to go back, so she could only read by herself. But it wasn't a big problem. Although there were a few words she didn't recognize, she could still understand the general idea, so she still read it with great interest. "What's this?" However, not long after Ruyi returned to his seat, he felt something under his butt. She was stunned for a moment, and hesitantly took something out of the sand, only to find that it was a mineral water bottle. There was a note inside the mineral water bottle. She unfolded the note. "Ask me if you don't know a word." It was obvious that the note was for her. She was stunned for a moment and subconsciously looked at Shen Zingle. Then Shen Zingle turned his head quickly, his face looking serious as if someone owed him millions. What a weird person. Ruyi realized that he didn't want to pay attention to her, so she walked towards him openly, and then shook the bottle in her hand in front of him. "Hey, this bottle is from you, right? Ignore people. I know it's you. There's no one else but you. I just asked Lan and he said the book is yours. Thank you for lending it to me, even though I took it myself." Ruyi didn't mind that he didn't talk and sat next to him. "Hey, I didn't expect you know so many words, and your handwriting is so beautiful too." Although Shen Zingle didn't say anything, there was some pride in his eyes. His handwriting is indeed very beautiful, better than most people's. But Rui's next words stunned him. But it's far worse than what I wrote. Your handwriting still has a lot of room for improvement. I can teach you how to write in the future. Write better than him. Boast. Shen Zingel glanced at Rui silently. He was really shameless. Now can you tell me what these words are? Flaw. What about this? The clouds are rising, and the mist is rising. This. What? Hey, it's time for dinner. After the two of them had been reading for about half an hour, Ping An and Shen Zinglan were finally tired of running. So they came over to Rui and asked her to continue playing house, and also asked Rui to cook for them. Seeing that Rui did nothing, Shen Zinglan couldn't help but blame her. How can you be my wife? I'm exhausted outside all day, and when I get home I can't even have a hot meal. Why do you think I married you? Ping An chimed in. Yes, you are an incompetent mother. You didn't even cook for me when you got home. Look, the kids know it. Banged. Rui hit Ping An in anger. Shen Zinglan bullied me, and you actually helped him bully me. What do you mean I'm an incompetent mother? When my mother didn't cook for us at home, my father never said anything to her. It was always my father who cooked for us. Ping An was suddenly awakened and looked at Shen Zinglan in confusion. Yes, when I'm at home, if mom doesn't cook, dad will cook. Why don't you cook? Shen Zinglan tried to argue. Boys can't enter the kitchen. Who said that? That's what they said on TV. After finding a justifiable reason, Shen Zinglan put her hands on her hips and taught Ping An. I'm telling you, men work outside to earn money, and women should cook at home. You must find a virtuous wife in the future, not one as lazy as your mother. Humph, I regret it. If I had known you were so lazy, I wouldn't have let you be my wife. You don't want to. After Shen Zinglan yelled for a long time, Rui was so angry that she couldn't speak and wanted to use violence. But Shen Zingel, who was reading a book at the side, spoke up. I want it. This situation is not right. Shen Zinglan didn't react for a moment. He subconsciously asked, What do you want? I want to marry her. Huh? Shen Zinglan was stunned for a moment, then said after some hesitation, Well, if you want to play with us, then you and him can play the couple, and Ping An and I will play your parents. No, Ping An is a boy, so you can play the parents and we can play the twins. Yeah, I'll play the genius twins who are really good at racing. Then let's go compete. After the two little guys talked for a while, they obviously regained their strength and turned around and started running wildly. Rui looked at the two people's backs and said unhappily, Two idiots. Shen Zingel nodded silently in agreement. They sat side by side and started reading. What? Lila finally has a friend. The Shen couple, who seemed to be basking in the sun nearby but had been observing Shen Zingel's movements, covered their mouths and were so excited that they were about to cry. After learning that Shen Zingel suffered from autism, what they were most thankful for was that they had given birth to twins. In kindergarten, although Shen Zingel had no friends and was always bullied by other children, Shen Zinglan could look after him and talk to him more. But it's not a solution to continue like this. The two children have to grow up. If Shen Zingel still has no ability to communicate with others, they will consider keeping him with them and not letting him go to school. After all, it is impossible for their eldest son to always be the bodyguard of their younger son. Even if we're brothers, it's not fair. But I didn't expect an accident to happen this time. Their son actually made friends. And she's such a smart and lovely girl. This is definitely a pleasant surprise. The doctor said that as long as we guide him slowly, he will be able to communicate normally with others in the future. It seems that what the doctor said is right. Right. The Shen couple looked at each other and said, Let's tell the Su couple about this situation this afternoon. It would be best if we leave their contact information. We can take our children to play with their children during the holidays. But have you ever considered, if they knew Leal was sick, would they still be willing to let their children play with Leal? Chapter 403, Is Coffee That Delicious? This kind of thing can't be kept secret, so we have to tell it. After discussing it, the couple decided to wait for Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan to come and tell them about this matter. So as soon as Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu arrived at the beach, they went to greet them. Then I told the two of them what had happened. Zhao Qingsu smiled after hearing this. She was not as discriminatory towards Shen Zingel as they imagined. Of course, as long as the children can have fun together, leave your contact information and go out together during the holidays. I believe they will be willing to do so. You two are such nice people. The Shen couple were very grateful to Zhao Qingsu. They held her hand and thanked her repeatedly. By the way, where do you live? We are temporarily living in the Garden Villa on Jingqiao Road. What about you? We don't live far away either. After listening to Zhao Qingsu's words, Mr. and Mrs. Shen became more and more excited. Our house is only a 20-minute drive from your house. We can bring the children over to play on weekends. Okay. For the next 2 months, the 4 children basically played together. But most of the time, it was the 2 little guys, Ping An and Shen Zinglin, running around noisily, building castles, playing ball, and skateboarding. Ruyi would occasionally play with them, but most of the time she would sit with Shen Zingle and read books. Sometimes when reading became boring, she would pull Shen Zingle to play ball or something. Although Shen Zingle was unhappy and didn't say anything throughout the whole process, he was still willing to play with Ruyi. As for Jing Tian, it was not until 2 months later that Zhao Qingsu discovered that Jing Tian had been elusive for a long time. Anyway, they were already familiar with each other. So while Ruyi and Ping'an went to each other's Shen's house to play, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu secretly drove and followed Jing Tian to a nearby cafe. This guy is nowhere to be seen all day long. I don't know where he is. Is he dating someone? It's impossible that he secretly goes to the cafe to drink coffee every day without telling them. He must have secretly hooked up with someone else at some point. Zhao Qingsu was a little dissatisfied. I won't compete with her. Why do I have to be so sneaky about this? Su Yuan chuckled. Maybe she's shy. Let's see who she's dating. Okay, I'd like to take a look. But what surprised the two was that they stayed outside the coffee shop for almost 2 hours. Jingshen's date didn't come over either. This made Zhao Qingsu wonder. She wouldn't really come here to drink coffee secretly by herself, right? Is the coffee really that delicious? Since the two of them had nothing to do, they just sat in the car with the seats down and played with their phones, while observing Jing Tian. But who would have thought that after such a long time, no one came to her? From beginning to end, she was sitting alone in the cafe drinking coffee. If you're just sitting here drinking coffee, why would you hide it from them? I always feel like there's something fishy going on here. Could it be that she deliberately hid her date because she discovered us? How to hide? This is not a game. Just send a message to your date and tell him not to come. Isn't that possible? After sitting in the car and guessing for a while, the two people couldn't help but feel curious, so they got out of the car and walked into the cafe. This cafe is decorated in a very refreshing style, with green plants everywhere, and the plants are very beautifully grown. You can tell at a glance that the people who grow these plants are very attentive. There were not many people coming to the coffee shop to drink coffee at this time, so Jing Tian was the only person sitting in the shop. As soon as Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu walked in, Jing Tian saw them and waved to greet them. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu looked at each other and sat opposite her. You've been drinking coffee here all morning. Is the coffee here so delicious? How did you know I've been drinking coffee here all morning? Jing Tian was quite happy to see Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu coming over. But when she heard what Zhao Qingsu said, a suspicious expression suddenly appeared on her face. I said, you two are not so bored as to follow me, right? This. Su Yuan coughed and said, we were just bored, so we drove around the island and ran into you by accident. Then we saw you drinking coffee here by yourself for so long, so we decided to come to the cafe to say hello to you. I see, never mind. Are you thirsty? Would you like a cup of coffee? The coffee here tastes really good. Jing Tian showed them the cup in front of him and said, the coffee here is definitely the best coffee I have ever tasted. Is it that exaggerated? Aren't things like coffee available everywhere? Of course it's not that exaggerated. The coffee here is really delicious. If you don't believe me, go try it. After Jing Tian hesitated for a moment, he stood up and asked enthusiastically, what kind of coffee would you like to drink? I'll go over and order it for you. Why do we need you to go over and order for us? Can't we just ask the waiter to come over and take our order? Zhao Qingsu is quite strange. This shop only has the owner and no waiters, so if you want to order simply, you can only go to the front desk to order. Anyway, what do you want to drink? Seeing Jing Tian's insistence, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu casually ordered 2 glasses of Blue Mountain. Okay, I'll take your order then. Having said that, Jing Tian stood up and walked away quickly. I always feel that her behavior is weird, but I don't know what's weird about her behavior. Zhao Qingsu touched his chin and said thoughtfully to Jing Tian, instead of guessing here and still not being able to guess, why not just ask her directly when she comes over? 2. After the two of them made the decision, Jing Tian was held down by Zhao Qingsu as soon as he sat down after placing his order. She pinched Jing Tian's neck and said, tell me the truth, are you here for some secret purpose? How is it possible that you have been coming here to drink coffee every day for the past 2 months? You're strangling me to death. Jing Tian rolled her eyes. I've been coming here to drink coffee every day for the past 2 months. I think the coffee is delicious, isn't that okay? You'll know when you drink it. The coffee here is truly the best in the world. Is this true or false? Zhao Qingsu saw that what she said didn't seem to be a lie, so she asked suspiciously, is the coffee really that delicious? Chapter 404, Contact Information. Of course it tastes that good. Jing Tian touched his neck and complained, you are really merciless. You almost broke my neck. After asking for a long time without getting any results, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu both began to believe what Jing Tian said. If the coffee tasted good, I could come here to drink it every day, but I still feel like something is not right. If you think the coffee here is so delicious, why don't you share it with us? Why have you been sneaking over here every day to drink it yourself for 2 months? Isn't it a rare opportunity for me to have such a long vacation? Of course I want to be alone for a while. I don't know how happy I am to drink coffee and play with my phone here every day. You are different from me. Don't you have to bring your children with you? Coffee shops are not suitable for bringing children here. They are too noisy. Jing Tian made a lot of excuses, and the coffee was ready quickly. There is really only my boss in the coffee shop here, not to mention the staff. But when you order, you have to run to the front desk to place the order, and after the coffee is ready, you have to run to the front desk yourself to bring the coffee to your seat. The boss will just call your number. The boss here is really lazy. Su Yuan wanted to get some coffee, but Jing Tian got there first. She stood up abruptly and said, I'll just get you some coffee. How can I bother you with something like this? After saying that, he quickly walked to the front desk and brought the coffee to them. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu looked at each other. They thought the coffee here must be very delicious and had some expectations for it. But after drinking it, I found that the coffee here tastes similar to those in high-end coffee shops. Of course, you can't say it doesn't taste good, but if you have to describe it as amazing, I really can't find anything amazing about it. So the coffee here is really to Jingshan's liking. Isn't the coffee here delicious? Seeing the two people pick up the coffee in front of them and take a sip, Jing Tian on the opposite side asked them expectantly. Zhao Qingsu could only speak the truth. I think the coffee here is just average. Okay, if you don't like it, forget it. I just like the coffee here anyway. No matter how delicious the coffee is, it can't be eaten as a meal, right? He's coming soon for lunch, so I'll treat you to a meal. Zhao Qingsu was somewhat helpless. We don't have to take care of the children today, so we can have a quiet lunch. Okay. Jing Tian nodded and agreed, then got up reluctantly and left with Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. At the moment the coffee shop door closed, her eyes were still lingering inside the coffee shop. Zhao Qingsu reacted suddenly in a flash. I say, are you interested in the owner of this coffee shop? When I entered the coffee shop just now, there seemed to be a tall figure in the coffee shop, and it was definitely a man. I just didn't notice what the man looked like. Upon hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Jing Tian quickly denied it. How is this possible? How could I? Okay. Feeling her face turn red as she lied, Jing Tian reluctantly admitted, I do have a crush on him, so I came here to drink coffee every day for the past 2 months just to show off my presence in front of him, okay? But, thinking about how Jing Tian and the coffee shop owner didn't communicate at all just now, Zhao Qingsu was a little confused. Since you like him, a beauty like you, why don't you just go up to him and talk to him? Why do you have to come here every day to drink coffee and show your presence? People like Jing Tian have facial features that are only 1% of those of humans. There may be some comments online that say she is not very good looking, but you can't deny that she is a great beauty, right? How could you possibly be rejected when you approach someone with such an elegant, beautiful, and well-built beauty? Zuer, are you going a little too far? How could a beauty like me take the initiative to flirt with others? It must be someone else who flirted with me. Jing Tian held his head high. Anyway, I won't take the initiative to strike up a conversation with him, but I don't believe that he won't be attracted to me if I come to his shop every day to drink coffee for several months. Zhao Qingsu touched her head and said, do you have a fever? I really don't believe that such wise words came out of your mouth. What are you doing? You don't have a fever. Jing Tian slapped her hand away. I'm not. Embarrassed, but the other person is a handsome guy. What if I reject him? Forget it. It's been 2 months and your progress bar is still at 0. If you keep going like this, you may not make any progress by the time we leave here for vacation. Let me help you work on it. Zhao Qingsu pulled Jing Tian back into the coffee shop without saying a word. Welcome, the menu is at the front desk. If you two would like anything to drink, just let me know. The coffee shop owner saw and felt Zhao Qingsu, Su Yuan and Jingshan walk in and said gently, this boss is indeed very gentle, tall, and handsome, and he is Chinese. But here's the thing. He was always wearing a pair of sunglasses, and no one knew what he looked like. Jing Tian wanted to leave, but Zhao Qingsu grabbed her, so she had no choice but to keep smiling. I drink. We are not here to drink coffee this time, but to get your contact information, boss. Zhao Qingsu said straight to the point. My friend likes you very much. He comes to your shop every day to drink coffee. He thinks you are a very nice and gentle person, so he wants to get to know you. Contact information. The other party was stunned for a moment, then reported a mobile phone number. If you have anything to say to me, you can contact me at any time through this number. Good. Zhao Qingsu took Jing Tian's phone and quickly wrote down the number, then casually asked, By the way, boss, your WeChat ID is the same as this number, right? Oh no. The boss shook his head and said, I don't use VX. How is it possible that there are still people who don't use VX these days? Zhao Qingsu was a little confused, worried whether this was a way for the other party to reject her. But who knew that the other party actually reached out and took off his sunglasses, then pointed at his eyes and said, I can't play because I can't see, but I can still answer the phone if you call me. Chapter 405. After all this time, are you showing off your wealth? Ha ha ha, is this the result of your 2+ months of trying to show off your presence? I'm dying of laughter. After walking out of the coffee shop, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu finally couldn't help but burst into laughter. This time even Su Yuan couldn't stop laughing. Jing Tian usually seems to be a serious and smart girl. Who knew she could do such a stupid thing? Would you please stop laughing? Jing Tian sighed. All right, I know I made a fool of myself, but I'm warning you, you can just laugh about this kind of thing, but don't go out and talk nonsense. Buff, be serious, I'm serious about what I'm saying. Okay. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu nodded helplessly and agreed. Actually, the coffee shop owner is really good looking. Don't you want to borrow his sperm? His genes are pretty good. There is nothing wrong with the genes, but... Jing Tian felt a little annoyed when he said this and waved his hands fiercely. Anyway, you are not allowed to tell anyone about this. Can. Also, you are not allowed to tell his cousin. Got it? No. Zhao Qingsu nodded, and then continued to laugh, which made Jing Tian so angry that he ran over and strangled her. The three of them came to the Shen couple's house, playing and joking. The Shen couple were busy in the kitchen. When they saw the three of them coming, they smiled and said, You guys are here? Then I'll add 2 more dishes for lunch and you can just eat at our house. Good. Jing Tian nodded without hesitation and reminded him, Make more meat dishes. No. The Shen couple went to the kitchen to busy themselves. Jing Tian didn't know how to cook, so she just watched TV on the sofa. Su Yuan and Jing Tian went to help but were also kicked out. So out of boredom, they went to tutor the little ones in their reading. The 4 little guys were probably tired from playing, and one of them was reading a book in his hand. But they didn't read the same books. When Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu walked over, they saw Shen Xinglin and Ping An talking. Shen Xinglin asked Ping An with some confusion on her face, Ping An, tell me, why is Zhou Yu described as a coward in the book? I don't know. Ping An shook his head in confusion. Niu Jiang. Maybe his face is softer and easier to pinch. It's not that kind of sticky, it's the cowardly. That's because he's henpecked. Isn't Zhou Yu's wife Zyro Cairo? Is Zyro Cairo also a tigress? After listening to the 2 little guys discussing for a long time, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu always felt that something was not right. He reached out and took Shen Xinglin's book. What cowardly general? He's a Confucian general. These 2 little guys are really brave. One dares to ask and the other dares to listen. After staying on Kano Island for a while, the post-production of the fantasy film is basically completed. Although 3 months of post-production time is not long, it is the result of almost all the special effects artists in half the world working non-stop. Su Yuan was a little skeptical about the speed, but after watching the trailer sent by special effects director Jason, he was very satisfied. Director Su, the post-production of The Lost Forest has basically been completed, but the winter vacation has just passed, so it's not appropriate to release it at this time. How about we wait a few months and release it in the summer? It will definitely be a big hit if it is released during the summer vacation. After all the production is completed, the next step is to confirm the release date of the movie. Xin Ziyulai means to be more cautious. Although the production of this movie is very good, whether in terms of plot or special effects, it is top-notch among similar domestic films. But if you want your movie to be a hit, you still have to choose a good release time. After all, no matter how good your movie is, people have to have time to watch it. This is also the reason why most movies choose to be released during the summer and winter vacations. Although the competition in the film market during these two times was very fierce, the market in these two time periods was also unprecedentedly large. Now the country's economic level is developing better and better, and the cultural and entertainment market is also developing more and more prosperously. As long as the movie is good, there is no need to worry about the lack of market. No need, so many people are waiting. Now that it can be released, let's just release it. Su Yuan didn't think too much about it, and just randomly set a time to show the movie. Director Su, isn't this time too hasty? At least preview the movie before it's released. Zin Ziolai was a little amused and helpless. Every decision made by our chairman is really unconventional. No need for previews, just release it straight away. Su Yuan thought for a moment. Of course, I know you are worried about publicity. I will do the publicity from now on tilde tilde. Zin Ziolai. What? Zuer, I thought you had abandoned us. 3 months? Do you know that you haven't done a live broadcast for 3 months? Do you know that this is an insult to your profession? If you don't start live streaming, I'm going to abandon you. In order to promote the new movie, Su Yuan also asked Zhao Qingsu to start the long-lost live broadcast. The live broadcast room is basically full of people complaining. This made Zhao Qingsu feel very embarrassed. She made an apology gesture. I am really sorry for everyone's trust. I actually wanted to work hard on the live broadcast, but I forgot because I was having so much fun here. Do you know Cano Island? The scenery on this island is really beautiful. If you want to travel after the fight, I recommend you come here. Okay, I know I haven't opened it for 3 months, but you guys are very resentful. How about this? I give you a benefit in the live broadcast room this time. Seeing that the complaints in the barrage were about to flood the live broadcast room, Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to finally talk about giving out benefits. Sure enough, people were quickly attracted by this so-called benefit. Zhao Qingsu took some photos of the interior of the villa. Everyone, this place I live in is pretty good, right? This villa is my husband's on Cano Island. It's usually empty. Zuer, after all this time, are you just showing off your wealth? You have a house on such a remote island. Brother Yuan, you must be a real estate agent. This villa is so beautiful. Wouldn't it be very happy to vacation in a villa like this? Okay, Zuer, stop talking so much and tell us what the welfare is. Chapter 406, How Can You Disagree? I know everyone is very anxious, so I'll tell you what the benefits are. I will randomly draw 10 people in my live broadcast room and let them travel to the villa where I live for a week. After seeing that everyone's appetite had been whetted enough, Zhao Qingsu also talked about the benefits. The winner can bring his or her immediate family members to travel and vacation. If you really don't want to bring immediate family members, you can bring your boyfriend or girlfriend. If you can't bring too many boyfriends or girlfriends, you can only bring one. Zhao Qingsu explained the rules. And I will pay for all the expenses of traveling to Cano Island, including travel expenses and meals, etc. As for your time, you can adjust it freely. Come and play for a week whenever you are free. Fuck, Zuer, are you telling the truth? Zuer, you are so nice. Look at me, Zuer. I'm planning to take my parents on a trip, but I really don't know where to go. Can you give me this spot? Everyone is full of expectations for the benefits given by Zhao Qingsu. After all, this benefit is different from the ordinary travel vouchers. It not only includes food and accommodation, but also air tickets. Basically, I just ran over there to play. A week-long trip to a place like this would cost at least tens of thousands. No. Tens of thousands are definitely not enough. After all, accommodation of this level, like the private villa on Cano Island, would cost at least 10,000 or 20,000 yuan a day. If you stay for 7 days, it will cost at least hundreds of thousands. Don't worry, everyone. Although I really want to give this benefit to everyone, I have said before that this villa is not mine, but my husband's. So before I give the benefit to everyone, I have to ask my husband's opinion. I will go over and seek benefits for you now. Zhao Qingsu quickly came to Su Yuan with the camera in hand and said, Honey, I want to give fans a treat. I'd like to give them a 7-day tour of our Cano Island villa. What do you think? Isn't it enough for him to decide on his own? Why did he suddenly come over to ask him? Just when Su Yuan wanted to ask what Zhao Qingsu was up to, she blocked his mouth. What, you don't agree? How can you disagree? Then Zhao Qingsu began her own performance. No, you can't say you don't agree to this kind of thing. I've already told my fans that I want to give this benefit to everyone. If you don't agree, won't I lose face? Besides, my fans have been supporting me for many years. They are basically on the same level as my family. What's wrong with giving them some benefits? Su Yuan. After quietly watching Zhao Qingsu's performance for 2 minutes, Su Yuan speechlessly broke her hands apart. What I want to say is, don't even think about giving fans benefits by organizing a 7-day tour. I have no objection even if you give away this villa. After he finished speaking, he grabbed Zhao Qingsu's hand and kissed the back of her hand. Who made you my wife? Whatever you say is right. Cough, cough, cough. As expected, Zhao Qingsu blushed. The fans in the live broadcast room were silently fed a wave of dog food, but they were already used to eating dog food in the live broadcast room. It's the familiar taste. It's the familiar recipe. Ah, I'm a local dog. I love this kind of dog food. Benefits, benefits, benefits. Zhu'er chose me. Because Zhao Qingsu hosted this event, her live broadcast room was directly pinned to the top, and the popularity in her live broadcast room is getting higher and higher. It made her feel embarrassed when she was picking people up. Everyone is really enthusiastic, but I can only give out 10 welfare quotas. How about this? I will adjust the number of welfare quotas, and I will pick one person to give out this welfare in 2 minutes, and I will not limit the number of people I can pick. After Zhao Qingsu changed the welfare mechanism, the popularity of the live broadcast room became higher and higher. Zhao Qingsu then chatted with everyone while picking people. By the way, in addition to chatting with you and giving you benefits, I have another more important thing to do during this live broadcast. That is the movie, The Lost Forest, starring my 2 little ones, will be released in 3 days tomorrow. If you have time, go to the cinema to watch it. So fast. When they heard that The Lost Forest was about to be released, everyone in the live broadcast room was very surprised. But I was also very happy despite the surprise. Zhu'er, I have liked you for so many years. I know that you and Brother Yuan are both very honest people. The movie you make must be good. Don't worry, I will go to the cinema to support you. I like the 2 little ones very much. Anyway, I will go to see them when the time comes. I have forwarded the news to my friends and Weibo. I have done all the publicity I can. As I said, if Zhu'er has any benefits, choose me. Although more than 60 welfare quotas were given away in one night, it is obvious that the publicity effect was quite good. On the second day, news about the release of the movie, The Lost Forest, could be seen in almost all friend circles and spaces. Su Yuan was very satisfied when he saw the promotional effect while browsing his phone late at night. He hugged Zhao Qingsu and kissed her. My wife is really an ordinary little promotional genius. She saved me a lot of advertising fees. How about this? I'll take you shopping tomorrow. Okay. Zhao Qingsu leaned on Su Yuan's chest. There just happened to be an early spring fashion show in Lebanon. I want to go and take a look. It would also be nice to do some shopping tilde. Okay, then we'll set off tomorrow. After staying on the island of Canao for 3 months, spring has arrived in Shanghai, and the 2 plan to return to Shanghai after traveling around Lebanon. Ping An and Ru Yi, hurry up and pack your things. We are leaving tomorrow. Su Yuan patted the 2 little guys beside him. When the little ones who were playing with building blocks on the living room floor heard that they were leaving tomorrow, their first reaction was not excitement, but confusion. Dad, is Lanlin going with us? The one who asked this question was Ping An. He and Shen Zinglan get along very well. Whether they are playing with building blocks, sand piles, or racing cars, their ideas always coincide. In just 3 months, Shen Zinglan has become his best friend. He shouldn't go. Su Yuan shook his head and laughed again. Don't worry, their home is not far from ours. You can still meet them often after returning to the Magic City. Chapter 407, I have an invitation. After confirming their departure, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu took the 2 little ones to say goodbye to the Shen couple the next day. Like Ping An, Shen Zinglan was also reluctant to part with Ping An. The 2 little guys even exchanged their favorite toys and agreed to keep them for each other. After arriving in Shanghai, the 2 would take the toys back. As for Shen Zinglan, he sat next to the Shen couple with an expressionless face the whole time and still didn't say a word, which made the Shen couple a little anxious. They couldn't help but start to enlighten him. Lula, don't you usually have a good time with Ru Yi? She's leaving now, aren't you going to say goodbye to her? Shen Zinglan didn't say anything. Ru Yi also looked at him eagerly. He remained silent. The Shen couple had no choice but to say goodbye to Ru Yi in person. Ru Yi, go play with your parents first. When we return to the Magic City, I will bring them to visit you on the weekends. Oh, well. Ru Yi nodded and waved to the Shen couple. Goodbye, Aunt Shen and Uncle Shen. I will bring you gifts when I go to Lebanon. Gift? After hearing Ru Yi's words, the Shen couple was stunned for a moment. Then they reacted and smiled. Okay, then we will wait for your gift. After saying goodbye completely, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu took the two little ones and Jing Tian and left Cano Island. Looking at their backs as they left, Shen Xinglan began to shed tears and kept asking when the Shen couple would return to the Magic City. She was very sad while holding the toy that Ping An had given her. Shen Xingle, on the other hand, acted as if nothing had happened. The Shen couple sighed, and after finally coaxing Shen Xinglan, they couldn't help but ask Shen Xingle, "Leal, aren't you sad at all that your good friend is gone?" "Lala, if you can never see your friends again, won't you be sad?" The couple now began to wonder if he might be autistic. However, after hearing what the couple said, Shen Xingle spoke up. "Why can't I see you again in the future? Didn't you just say that you can see me even if you return to the devil?" After he finished speaking, he probably felt that the couple was a bit annoying, so he went upstairs with his books. "What? Rudy, what are you doing?" After getting on the plane, several people played games together. Ping An had a bad memory and quickly forgot about Shen Xinglan's matter. Ruyi was lying on the window, looking at something. Zhao Qingsu walked over, patted her tender shoulder and asked this question. "I was thinking, he didn't even say goodbye to me." Ruyi propped up her chin, with a little sadness on her face. "Although I know very well why he didn't say goodbye to me, I'm still very unhappy." "Okay, baby, don't be unhappy. Let's go play games together." Zhao Qingsu pinched her face. After about 2 hours of flight, they arrived in Lebanon. The two little ones loved Lebanon's bustling streets and delicious food. After having so much fun, they no longer cared about their friends. "You evil capitalists, did you come here just to eat, drink, and have fun?" Jing Tian wore big sunglasses and asked Ping An to do hard work for her. She took a lot of photos and complained at the same time. "Don't forget that based on your income, you are also a capitalist. Don't forget this." Zhao Qingsu patted her shoulder and said, "Let's have fun for 2 days today. We will go to Lebanon's spring fashion show tomorrow. But that requires an invitation." Lebanon is recognized as a fashion capital and holds various fashion shows every year, inviting international supermodels and various prestigious fashion designers. Many celebrities are proud to be invited to fashion shows and even do all kinds of tricks to get invitations to fashion shows. Most of the celebrities who received the invitation letters started posting pictures to make their presence known. Not only do you have to take a photo of the invitation letter and post it on your personal social media account, but you also have to live stream the process of choosing clothes and participating. In short, it is an honor for them to receive an invitation. Even Jing Tian is no exception. However, she had only received an invitation once, and that was 3 years ago. She was so excited at that time. "We have an invitation." Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly. "I receive invitations every year, but my child was too young before. I felt uneasy leaving him in China, and it was not good to take him everywhere, so I never participated." But even though she never went there, they still kept posting them. It just so happened that she had time this time, and the design theme was traditional Chinese style, so she decided to go and take a look. "Wow, isn't this such a waste? Didn't you tell me earlier that you receive an invitation every year? If you don't want to go after receiving the invitation, you can give it to me. Can't I go for you?" I didn't expect Zhao Qingsu to be so wasteful, which made Jing Tian stamp his feet in frustration. "How do I know you want to participate in this kind of thing? I thought you were usually very busy shooting commercials and attending announcements and so on, and you would have no time to participate in this kind of thing." Zhao Qingsu's words made Jing Tian stomp her feet even harder. She comforted her with a smile. All right, you still have to pay attention to your image on the street. If someone secretly takes a picture of you like this and posts it online, you will definitely become famous again. Then you have to promise me that you will pass on such invitations to me in the future." "Okay, I promise you." While the two were talking, Ping An and Ruyi had already jumped and ran into a chocolate shop that specializes in selling raw chocolate. Anyway, the two little guys could speak English and had enough change in their hands. So Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and the other two just stood at the door of the store and chatted and did not go in. Through the glass, you can see the two little ones running around in the store like happy deer. They bought several boxes of chocolates, put the chocolate boxes at the front desk to check out with difficulty, and even refused the help of the clerk. Being cute is always an advantage, so even if the store is full of female clerks, they like Ping An and Ruyi very much and keep surrounding them. Soon, Ping An and Ruyi walked out of the store carrying several boxes of chocolates. "Wait a minute." However, before the two of them walked out of the store, they were stopped arrogantly by a little girl wearing pink fur and sunglasses. The little girl stared at the colorful chocolate in Ruyi's hand and said condescendingly, "I want your box of chocolates. Name your price. Chapter 408, Can we take a walk? The little girl looks only 6 or 7 years old, but her aura looks amazing. She looked at Pingan and Ruyi proudly, without even taking off her sunglasses, just waiting for Ruyi to hand her the chocolate. But Ruyi is not someone who can be bullied easily. She frowned and said crisply in English, "This is my chocolate. I won't sell it to you no matter how much you offer. Why are you so ignorant?" The little girl didn't expect to be rejected. She took off her sunglasses with some dissatisfaction and stared at Ruyi with her big eyes. "I said I will pay you, even if it's double or 10 times, as long as you name the price." "Double or 10 times? Why should I sell it to you at such a high price? I don't want to be a profiteer. Mom said that business must be honest." Ruyi snorted. "Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I should go now." "No, you can't leave." Probably because she was used to being bossy, the little girl refused to move and insisted on blocking Ruyi. "If you don't sell me the box of chocolates in your hand today, then don't even think about leaving this chocolate shop." "Beautiful lady, tilde tilde." The clerk also noticed the conflict and quickly ran over to mediate. He looked at the little girl apologetically and said, "I know you really want to eat our rainbow chocolate, but there is a limited supply of rainbow chocolate every day. Today is really the last box. But if you want to eat it, you can come tomorrow and we can reserve a box for you." The little girl refused to listen. "No, I want to eat it today. Hurry up and ask her to sell the chocolate to me." No matter what the clerk said to the little girl, it was useless. In the end, he could only look at Ruyi helplessly and said, "Little girl, can we discuss selling this box of rainbow chocolate to the children over there? If you want to eat some, we will make the same chocolate tomorrow and leave a box for you then. Please, tilde tilde." The clerk looked at Ruyi pleadingly. Ruyi thought for a moment and handed the chocolate in her hand to the clerk. "Okay, then, this box of chocolates is for you. I'll come get new ones tomorrow. Remember to leave one box for me." "Little boy, you are such an angel." Unexpectedly, Ruyi actually agreed to this. The clerk was very surprised and quickly praised Ruyi. Ruyi put on a stern face and imitated Su Yuan's words, saying, "You're welcome. I just don't want to embarrass you." After saying that, he walked out of the store with Ping An. She shared the chocolates she bought with Jing Tian, Su Yuan, and Zhao Qingsu. "I originally bought 5 boxes of chocolates, one for each of us, but one box was snatched away on the way. Now there are only 4 boxes left, one for Dad, one for Mom, one for Godmother, and one for Ping An. I'll just watch you enjoy them." She looked at the chocolates in the 4 men's hands pitifully, her eyes full of desire. "Ping An, you see Ruyi knows how to be humble. Why don't you give yours to her?" Jingshan asked Pingan with amusement, as he held the chocolate tightly in his arms. "It felt like my chocolate was about to be taken away. I knew you would set your eyes on the chocolate in my hand." Pingan sighed after hearing Jing Tian's question and held the chocolate in his arms tighter. "I don't want to give in to Ruyi. If it were someone else, they would definitely push it back. She will definitely want it. Besides, this is all planned by her. She's just waiting for me to give it to her. I won't be fooled by her." Well, I didn't." Ruyi denied it and sighed. "It's hard to lie if you lie too much. If you can't lie to Ping An, then you can only lie to adults." She looked at Jing Tian pitifully. "Godmother, I think you have become more and more beautiful in recent times." "Yeah." Being praised by Ruyi, Jing Tian was in a very good mood. He touched his face and asked expectantly, "What's good about it?" "Everything about her looks better, especially her face, which is much rounder than before. It looks really good. My dad said that girls look better only when they are chubby." Ruyi's words completely made Jingshan collapse. She quickly took out a mirror from her bag and looked at herself. "Oh my God, I've gained a lot of weight. It's all because the food has been so good lately." "Well, the chocolate is cheap for you." She put the mirror into her bag and handed the chocolate to Ruyi. "Eat it yourself." Ruyi took the chocolate without hesitation, smiling sweetly and obediently. "Thank you, Godmother." "You little brat." Jing Tian touched her hair in annoyance. "If you want to eat the chocolate in Godmother's hand in the future, just tell me directly. If you tell Godmother that I'm fat again, Godmother will eat up all your snacks." "I know, Godmother, you are the best to me." After a day of shopping, the 5 people returned to the hotel they had booked in advance to rest. As for what happened in the chocolate shop, it was treated as a small episode, and Ping and Ruyi simply forgot about it. The next day they got up early, changed their clothes, and headed to the Lebanese fashion show. "Hello." After arriving at the venue, Zhao Qingsu took the initiative to hand over her invitation letter. The other party had noticed Su Yuan because he was handsome. Zhao Qingsu and Jing Tian were both very elegant, and they brought 2 cute children with them. After taking a look at the name on the invitation letter, His attitude suddenly became much warmer. It's Mr. Su and Mrs. Su. It's an honor for our fashion show to have you two here. Please follow me in. The fashion director personally led Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and the others in. Since it was their first time there, the fashion director carefully introduced the environment to them. Finally, they were taken to their seats and said, "This is your seat, you can sit here." "Okay, thanks." After expressing their gratitude, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu sat down. They came here just to watch the fashion show, so there was no need to care about the environment. There were busy staff members nearby, and Zhao Qingsu and the others didn't want to run around and cause trouble for the staff. But they can sit idle, but Ping En and Rui can't sit idle. The two little guys looked here, touched there, and walked around excitedly. "Mom and Dad, the decoration here is so beautiful. Can we go around and take a look?" "Okay, but don't run too far and don't cause trouble for others. Play for 15 minutes and come back." Zhao Qingsu looked at the time on her wrist and gave a reminder. The two little guys had already run away. Got it. Chapter 409, Who Are Your Parents? The layout here is very beautiful. Rudy held Pingen's hand and walked around, looking everywhere, her face full of excitement and curiosity. Ping-en, on the other hand, didn't like this place very much, so he seemed to have very little interest. Yes, it is beautiful. He was bored and perfunctorily treated Rui. If I had known this place was so boring, I would have stayed in the hotel and played games. As he was thinking this, he suddenly saw a few children appear in front of him. 3 boys and 1 girl. They all looked about the same age, but he recognized the little girl in the lead. She was the girl he met in the chocolate shop last night. Today she was dressed even more gorgeously than yesterday, and she had her hair carefully permed. She was carrying a Chanel bag in her hand, looking proud and beautiful like a princess. There were 3 little boys around her, chattering with her. "Nayli, you look so beautiful today." "Did I look bad yesterday?" Nayli touched her hair and said, "Why are you guys so annoying? I told you not to play with me anymore. Why are you still following me? You are just like a follower." "Nayli, we want to hang out with you. You promised us that after the fashion show today, we would go to the party together. You can't go back on your word." "Yes, Nari, I want to dance with you then." "Nayli, be careful not to fall." The 3 little boys were very attentive, but they didn't care because Nelly looked impatient. After seeing this, Ping-en opened his mouth wide in shock. What's wrong with them? People don't even want to play with them. Why do they still stick to them? Rui also noticed the 4 people, so she curled her lips and said to Ping-en, "This is the legendary licking dog. I tell you, you can do anything when you grow up, but you can't be a licking dog like this." "Don't worry, I won't." "Promise. I promise." After the 2 of them finished talking, they saw that the appointed time was almost up. So they held hands and planned to return to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. But just after they took 2 steps, the little girl's voice came from behind them. "Stop right there, you two." The little girl walked quickly to Rui and Ping-en, frowned her carefully trimmed eyebrows, looked at the 2 of them with dissatisfaction, and finally asked, "Why are you 2 here? Did I sneak in?" "You can be here, but we can't. Please be a little more respectful when you speak. We are here with our parents." Rui fought back without giving in. But the little girl didn't believe it at all. "How could your parents be here? You must be lying." After she finished speaking, she began to scream at the security guards. "Where are the security guards? Where are the security guards? Get them out." "What's going on?" The busy crowd soon discovered something was wrong here, and a group of people couldn't help but look over here. Although Ping-en and Rui were also very delicate and beautiful, their eyes fell on Nali first, because they all knew that Nelly was the daughter of their fashion director. Their fashion director is a strong woman who has given up almost all of her personal time for designing. She is still unmarried at the age of 40, so she simply borrowed the sperm bank and gave birth to a daughter through artificial insemination. So she often kept her little daughter by her side and doted on her extremely. Although Nali's personality is very overbearing and domineering, as subordinates, everyone is very tolerant of Nali's personality. Basically, Nali does whatever she wants to do, and everyone will meet her requests. Not only does her personality become more and more arrogant, but she also orders them around in various ways. In private, everyone calls her the little overlord. What they feared most was that the little bully would make all kinds of unreasonable demands that they could not meet. So in order to let her have fun and avoid causing trouble, several people brought sensible children of similar age to play with her. Those little boys. This has been going on peacefully for a long time. But unexpectedly, something went wrong this time. "Get them out of here." Nayli looked at the adults who had gathered around and was very satisfied with the result. She pointed in the direction of Ping An and Ru Yi and said, I really hate them. Hurry up. If you are slow, I will tell my mom that you bullied me. I don't think you want to be punished by my mom, do you? Although she was only 10 years old, Nelly already knew very clearly how to threaten them, and she did it with ease. A group of people looked at each other, and then looked at Ping and Rui. Whose child is this? The security check here is very strict, and it is impossible for children from civilian families to sneak in. Moreover, these two children are so cute and well-dressed, and you can tell at first glance that they are from wealthy families. Of course, they didn't dare to do anything to Ping and Rui, so they could only find out their identities first. It should be a child from China, right? Go find their parents. Take them away. A group of people were discussing countermeasures, and this matter was giving them quite a headache, but it was really not easy to handle. When Nelly saw that they hesitated and dared not to meet her demands, she screamed in anger, "You bullied me, and it's not good for me at all. I'm going to go back and tell my mother about this and let her punish you." After saying that, he turned and ran away. Several people followed her and chased after her. "Nelly, run slowly and don't fall. We are discussing a solution and we will definitely satisfy you." But Nelly had already run far away. When the remaining people saw this situation, they all sighed quietly. It was over. It looked like they would be scolded again. What a little ancestor you can't mess with. Don't worry. However, just when they were frowning, Rui spoke up. Her delicate and pretty face, like a porcelain doll, was full of seriousness. This matter was originally her fault. She is immature. Her mother will definitely be sensible. Thank you for comforting us, little friend. I didn't expect Rui to be so considerate, which made the staff feel a little embarrassed. One of them squatted down and asked her, "Who are your parents? Where are they?" Chapter 410, Misunderstanding. My parents are sitting over there. If you are still worried, I will talk to my parents later and ask your boss not to punish you. Okay, Tilda. The two children were so gentle and cute. Compared with Nolly, they were like little angels and immediately captured the hearts of everyone present. Everyone loved the two little ones so much that they even took photos with them. However, they did not take what the two kids said to heart. After all, their fashion director was a well-known female devil. In other words, she would not give face to most people. Maybe in the eyes of the children, their parents are very capable, but in the eyes of their directors, they are not worth mentioning at all. After taking photos with Ping'an and Rui, they continued with their work, while Ping'an and Rui returned to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. As soon as Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu saw the two little ones coming back, they immediately hugged them and said, "Why did you come back so late? Didn't you say we would only play for 15 minutes? It's almost been 20 minutes. There was a small accident, so it delayed us a little." After thinking for a while, Rui told what had just happened. This made Su Yuan frown. He has always taught the two little ones to be polite to others. But that doesn't mean they should just swallow their anger when they are bullied. They were invited to attend this fashion show today, but someone threatened to kick his children out. This is basically equivalent to an insult. This made Su Yuan very angry. Dad, those uncles and aunts are all very nice to us. Don't look so scary." Rui saw that Su Yuan's face looked unhappy and hurried to comfort him. Rui's understanding made Su Yuan feel a little distressed. He even began to wonder if there was something wrong with his education. He stood up suddenly and picked up Rui and Ping'an. "Let's go find that little girl and ask her to apologize to you. Although the other party is just a child and may not deserve any additional punishment for this, apologizing is a matter of attitude." "Good." Ping'an clapped his hands. "Let her apologize, but if they apologize, should we forgive them?" "Don't want." Rui shook her head like a rattle. "I hate her too, so don't forgive her." The two little guys sang in unison. Soon we arrived at the fashion director's office. "What? Have you arranged everything? You can make the decision on your own for such a small matter. Why do you need me to make the decision? The fashion show will officially begin in 10 minutes. Are all the people here?" "Okay, I'll check it right away." The fashion director was very busy in her office. She had to coordinate any problems that arose during the entire fashion show, and the phone in her office never stopped ringing. There is nothing we can do about it. Although the Lebanese fashion show has been held for decades, in fact, some strange new problems arise every year. "Mom, were you really listening to what I just said to you? I said someone is bullying me." Nelly stood in the office angrily, talking loudly to her mother about what had just happened. It was not until she said it for the third time that the fashion director put down the things in his hands and turned around to comfort her. "Baby, I heard it just now. I know someone is bullying you. Write down the names of those people for me and I will help you punish them, okay? I want you to punish them now." "Okay, I'll call and scold them right now." The fashion director responded perfunctorily and took another call. But Nayli's patience was gone. You were lying to me. You didn't call them and you didn't punish them. You are a bad mother. I will never talk to you again. Baby, mommy is really busy right now. Okay, I'll help you vent your anger after I finish this matter. After the two of them argued for a while, the fashion director finally finished his work. She held her daughter's hand and said, "Come on, honey, let's go. Mom will help you vent your anger." Good. Nayli was satisfied, but she once again put forward a new request. Mom, I not only want you to punish those people who bullied me, but also drive out those two children from China. They stole my chocolate yesterday and bullied me again today. I hate them. Okay. The fashion director didn't care what Nari said and agreed to everything lovingly. What she hated most was seeing her daughter unhappy. As long as her daughter was happy, she would agree to any request. The two walked out of the office hand in hand. I ran into Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, who were coming with their children. When the fashion director saw the two people, she was stunned for a moment. She didn't know the others, but she knew Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. She smiled almost out of habit. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, the fashion show is about to begin. What do you want to talk to me about at this time? Mom, that's them. Before Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu could answer the fashion director's question, Nayli pointed at Ping An and Ruyi and screamed, "It's them! You promised to kick them out." Nelly. The fashion director thought that the child Nali was talking about was the child of one of his subordinates, and thought of asking the subordinate to find someone to take the child home. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's child. She immediately covered Nali's mouth. Of course, she could easily take care of the children of her subordinates, but for the children of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, how could she possibly let them leave? Mom, you promised me. You can't go back on your word on something like this. Nari became even more excited. Su Yuan said coldly, "I think you should know why I came here, right?" Just now, they were standing outside the office door and had heard clearly what happened between Nayli and the fashion director. This fashion director really dotes on Nari. From the beginning to the end, they never asked who was right or wrong in this matter, and they didn't even figure out what happened. They just agreed to Nali's unreasonable request. This, Mr. Su, Madam Su, this may be a misunderstanding. The fashion director looked at Ping An and Ruyi, then at the angry Nayli, and tried to smooth things over. My precious daughter is not sensible. If she has offended you in any way, I apologize to you here. You should indeed apologize, but it's your daughter who should apologize even more. Chapter 411, is that so? I want to go and see. I don't want to apologize. I don't want to apologize. I did nothing wrong. Mom, you are the best. Kick them all out. I hate them so much. Nali has been spoiled to the point of being lawless. At this moment, she had no intention of apologizing at all. Instead, she screamed and wanted to kick Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu out. The fashion director was anxious and had no choice but to squat down and look at her seriously. Nayli, you did something wrong in this matter. Apologize to her immediately. Why should I apologize? Mom, you said I wouldn't be wrong. I just want to kick them all out. Nari doesn't buy it at all. Su Yuan was already planning to leave with Ping An and Ruyi. I already know your attitude. After saying that, he left without saying anything else. It's okay not to participate in this kind of fashion show. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, Nayli is just a child. She doesn't understand anything. Seeing Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu leave like this, the fashion director became a little anxious. She shouted at their backs, but Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had already gone far away. After Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu left, the assistant came over and looked at her hesitantly. Director, Mr. Su and Mrs. Su have left. What should we do now? Do you want me to personally pick out some gifts so that I can go to their homes to apologize? Let them go, and the show will proceed as normal. The fashion director rubbed his brows and said, Forget about the apology. My daughter is just a child. What can a child understand? Oh, yes. Hearing the fashion director say this, the assistant looked at Nali and felt helpless. 10-year-old children are already very polite. Other people's children are not like this. But she was just an assistant, and the fashion director was autocratic and eccentric, so she didn't dare to express her own opinions. What? Why did you come out too? After Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu brought Ping An and Ruyi out, they saw Jing Tian, who was looking forward to the fashion show, also came out and couldn't help but ask curiously. Jing Tian's attitude was matter of fact. How could I stay here to watch the fashion show when you all left? Besides, there's nothing good to see in this fashion show. I wanted to participate in this fashion show just to show off my dress. I've already shown off my dress before. Although Zhao Qingsu knew that she was saying this to comfort him, she did not continue to be hypocritical. She thought for a moment and said, "Next time you're going to attend an event, tell me in advance and I will personally design a dress for you." Really? When Jing Tian heard what Zhao Qingsu said, her eyes lit up immediately. "I never thought that I could wear the dress specially designed by Zhuo in my lifetime. I feel so happy tilde. Although Zhao Qingsu is not a serious designer. In fact, many of the clothes she designed have become popular, and many wealthy ladies are eager to imitate them. Before, someone was willing to pay millions to ask Zhao Qingsu to design a dress for her, but Zhao Qingsu refused. Jing Tian didn't feel comfortable bringing up the matter, but she didn't expect that Zhao Qingsu would take the initiative to ask to make clothes for her this time, which made her feel like a pie fell from the sky and hit her. Really, it's just a piece of clothing. What's the big deal? After that, they strolled around Lebanon, bought some gifts, and then returned to China. Of course, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu did not forget to post what happened at the Lebanese fashion show online. They are the type who forget about something once they send it. After all, they can't just keep playing with their phones all the time. But this incident caused a huge response on the internet. "Our two little ones are so adorable. I love them so much. How could someone ask them to get out? Is the Lebanese fashion show amazing? You really look down on people." Most people were very angry about this incident and stood up for the two little ones. This directly triggered a trend of boycotting Lebanon. The first to be affected is Lebanon Fashion Magazine. As the most authoritative fashion magazine in Lebanon, Lebanon Fashion Magazine can be purchased in almost every country in the world. But the first and foremost market is of course still in China. Every year, the sales of Lebanese fashion magazines in China account for 40% of the sales of all fashion magazines. But after this incident, due to the boycott of netizens, the sales of this week's Lebanese fashion magazine fell by 90%. This made the top leaders of the Lebanese Fashion Association immediately take this issue seriously. After discussion among the top leaders of the Lebanese Fashion Association, it was unanimously decided to fire the current fashion director and never hire him again. The fashion director was stunned when he received the news of dismissal. He never expected that the top management would make such a decision. She subconsciously wanted to find her assistant to contact the senior management, but the assistant's expression was indifferent. "You are no longer the director. To be more precise, you are no longer a member of our company. Please pack up your personal belongings immediately and leave the company as soon as possible." As a fashion queen that everyone fears. Of course, there is no way to question the fashion director's work attitude. Before she had a daughter, she was very harsh and demanding towards the people below her, and she always said that everything must be done to perfection. But at that time, everyone just secretly complained about her behind her back, and no one was too dissatisfied with her. After all, in addition to making such demands on her subordinates, she also restrained herself with the same requirements. But all this changed after she had a daughter. For the sake of her daughter, she punished the people below her without any reason many times. Although everyone dared to be angry but not speak out, they had already accumulated a lot of dissatisfaction in their hearts. After Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu posted the incident online, not only did Chinese netizens react strongly, but people in the industry also hoped that the incident would become a big deal. Fortunately, this matter has turned out as they wished. They wish the fashion director would just get out of here as soon as possible, and of course they won't be nice to her after she's caught. Mr. Su and Mrs. Su are still very powerful. If it weren't for the incident with Mr. Su and Mrs. Su, we don't know how long we would have been bullied by that little devil. Yes, Mr. Su and Mrs. Su helped us a lot. Speaking of which, they raised a son and a daughter really well. I saw them the other day. The little girl was still a baby, but she knew how to comfort us. She was so adorable. Of course, the two little ones are very popular in China. Many people like them. I heard they even made a movie. Really, I want to go see it. Chapter 412, Are You Still Sleepy? Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu no longer paid attention to the affairs of Lebanon after returning to China. After returning home, they first took the two children to visit their parents and gave them the gifts they brought back from Lebanon. Then they contacted the Shen couple and agreed to go to the movies together on the weekend. And the movie they shot was released as scheduled. In fact, although this movie is excellent in all aspects, whether it is special effects, plot, or acting, but because of the unfavorable schedule and the relatively niche genre, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu did not expect this movie to be very popular. But on the day of the release, they set up a bet at home to bet on the first day's box office. The box office is divided into 4 stages. The first stage is from 10 million to 50 million, and the second stage is from 50 million to 100 million. The third stage is 100 million, but 155 million. The fourth stage is from 150 million to 200 million. In order to give the two children confidence, Su Yuan directly placed his bet on the highest tier. Zhao Qingsu was more conservative and chose the second tier. The two little ones also chose the highest grade with Su Yuan. After placing the bets, several people posted the results on the social media platform, but then the internet exploded. Yuan has already grossed 10 million. Yuan has already grossed 50 million. Yuan has already grossed 200 million. Following the enthusiastic netizens at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu didn't even need to look at the data to know the real-time box office of the movie. But to their surprise, the movie had only been out for 12 hours, and the box office had already exceeded 200 million, and it was still rising rapidly. Almost this day, the internet was flooded with news about The Lost Forest. I heard that this is a children's movie, so I took my kids to watch it. I thought this movie was just for kids, but it really surprised me. Although the plot is simple and joyful, it has all the necessary details. I was shocked after watching it. Moreover, not only am I very satisfied, but my kids also think it is very good. I think I will take my kids' dad and our family to watch it again this weekend. This can be said to be the best movie special effects I have ever seen. I work in special effects myself, so I know how much effort it takes to make special effects like this. Sure enough, this special effect is as expensive as advertised. Let me guess, the special effects of this movie cost at least 1.5 billion. Of course, this is a conservative estimate, if I were to guess boldly. I think the special effects of this movie probably cost 2 billion. This movie really surprised me. I've seen so many movies that were hyped up but turned out to be shit. This is the only movie that surprised and amazed me. It's hard to imagine that our country will one day produce a movie that moves me like this. In just one day, the movie has received over 10,000 reviews. The praise rate reached 95%. Movie reviews are flying all over the place. The impact of this scene on Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu was, none of them guessed correctly. The two kids were quite disappointed. Mom and Dad, if we don't guess correctly, then there's something wrong with this bet. Can we get half of the bet as compensation? We had agreed before that if the two kids guessed correctly, each of them would get 2 bags of French fries as a reward. Okay, the box office of this movie is so good. You have made great contributions, so I will reward each of you with a bag of French fries. Mom is the best tilde. The two little ones had no idea what the box office meant. When they heard that they could get an extra bag of French fries today, they danced with joy. The box office data is still rising, and the first day's box office results are out. 500 million. Wang Kong was stunned when he saw the box office results. He called Su Yuan and said, "Brother Yuan, how come you are so awesome at everything you do? You just made a random movie and it became so popular. The box office of this drama is better than all the movies under my company. When he has nothing to do, he will invest in movies and such, but most of the results are not satisfactory. There are also people who pay money in return. He thinks that making a movie is quite difficult, and making a good movie that makes money is even more difficult." Before, when Su Yuan told him that he wanted to make a movie and asked him to borrow a team, he advised Su Yuan to invest less and just play around. Unexpectedly, he didn't expect that Su Yuan would become famous just by making a movie. And it was extremely popular. The first day box office was 500 million. Isn't this a beast? Why are you jealous? Su Yuan smiled and said, 500 million is nothing. I haven't even made back my investment yet. I know you haven't made back your money, but judging by your attitude, it's only a matter of time before you make back your money. Wang Kong's tone was full of envy. How about I learn from your routine and make a movie? Just say it's a sequel to your movie. I'll start preparing now. As soon as your Lost Forest is off the shelves, mine will immediately take its place. It will definitely make a lot of money. Oh, Su Yuan raised his eyebrows. My film crew only spent 100 million yuan on the production, 3.6 billion yuan on special effects, and the publicity costs are negligible, so the total investment is only 3.7 billion yuan. How much do you plan to invest? I plan to invest 200 million. Wang Kong excitedly began to talk about his grand plan. 100 million for filming, 20 million for publicity, 20 million for the two little ones, and the remaining 60 million for the special effects team. Then I'll tell people outside that I invested 1 billion. According to the current popularity of The Lost Forest, And with the two little ones coming to star in person, the box office will surely be no less than 1 billion. Then he made 700 to 800 million yuan just by selling it. Isn't this wonderful? Are you still asleep? After listening to Wang Kong's plan, Su Yuan was silent for a moment. Do you think I will let Ping and Ruyi act in your crappy movie? AI. After hearing what Su Yuan said, Wang Kong quickly flattered him. Brother Yuan, you can't say that. Fine movies can be popular easily, but the risks are high and the costs are high. But according to my routine, it will definitely be profitable. As long as you make the money, nothing will be shameful. Bang! Su Yuan hung up the phone directly. Zhao Qingsu, who was standing next to him, saw that his expression was not right and could not help asking, "Who is calling you to annoy you so much? It can't be my mom, right?" "No." Su Yuan immediately muted his phone and said, "It's a borer." Chapter 413, I want to praise my wife again. "Ma'am, I'm out buying groceries." Seeing the two of them being affectionate on the sofa, the family's nanny Tian Yu has gotten used to it. She smiled and said hello to Zhao Qingsu, then changed her shoes and coat, and went to the market with a basket to buy vegetables. She actually doesn't do this kind of thing often, because there is no shortage of vegetables at home. Some vegetables that are not available in the country will be delivered by a special person, or the owners of major vegetable markets will call and ask if she wants good vegetables when they have them. In addition, Zhao Qingsu's parents often come to feed the animals, and Zhao Qingsu herself will go to the vegetable market on a whim, so the refrigerator at home is often full. She only goes to the vegetable market to buy groceries occasionally, about 4 or 5 times a month. Tian Yu skillfully came to the underground garage, picked up a bunch of Maybach GLS car keys from the side, got in the car, drove out of the garage, and went straight to the vegetable market. However, she had just come out of the vegetable market with her hands, and was about to put the vegetables into the car when she saw a man walking towards her. The man was tall and thin, wearing a pair of glasses, and had a very elegant temperament. As soon as he saw the man, Tian Yu laughed. "Why are you here? Didn't you tell me you were going to the market to buy vegetables? I came by to see if I could run into you. I didn't expect to actually run into you. This shows that there is a real destiny between us." After he finished speaking, he bent down, took the food from Tian Yu's hand, and helped her put it in the trunk. Tian Yu was a little embarrassed. "Sorry to bother you." The man in front of her was called Li Qi, an online friend she met a month ago. She didn't know how they started chatting, but they said good morning and good night to each other every day, and their relationship was very ambiguous. After chatting more, the two knew each other's addresses and discovered that they lived quite close to each other. Later, the two of them had a meal together in private. They felt good about each other and kept chatting. Now they are in a relationship that is more like friends than romance, and they are just one step away from breaking through the window paper. What's the trouble? Aren't we friends? Besides, I really like girls like you who are as warm and cheerful as spring breeze. It's very comfortable to be with you. I haven't met a girl like you in many years. You are rarer than pandas. Li Qi is very good at speaking and praised Tian Yu to the sky. Tian Yu chatted with him briefly, but she didn't forget why she came here. "Okay, I have to go back quickly. I am very happy to see you. Please go back." Li Qi waved to her with a smile. She drove away. Watching her leaving, Li Qi touched his chin and said, "Maybach GLS. Her family is quite wealthy." Of course, Tian Yu didn't hear this. She returned home quickly, seeing that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were both sitting on the sofa and had no intention of going into the kitchen. She walked over to ask about tonight's dinner menu. Zhao Qingsu casually looked through the dishes she bought. "Today's dishes are all quite fresh, especially the asparagus. We can make asparagus fried with meat and corn and pork ribs soup. You can make the rest yourself. 2 meat dishes and 2 vegetable dishes will be enough." Anyway, Tian Yu and another nanny have worked in the Su family for 3 years, and they know their preferences and tastes. Zhao Qingsu just needs to give them a brief explanation, and she feels relieved. In fact, at the beginning, Zhao Qingsu planned to do all the housework herself. But after having Ruyi and Ping'an, he really felt overwhelmed, so he asked Tian Yu and Zhao Su to come over. One of them majored in management and storage, and the other majored in nutrition and health. They are very skilled in the use of the skills, so they have been kept at home to do the work. It has been more than 3 years now. After Tian Yu entered the kitchen, Zhao Qingsu lazily leaned in Su Yuan's arms and closed her eyes. "Oh, I'm so sleepy again. I'll lean on you and rest for a while. Don't bother me. It is true that you tend to feel sleepy when you are pregnant." Su Yuan touched her hair, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. "Go to sleep. I'll stay here to watch over you." After saying that, he picked up a thin blanket and covered her with it. After Zhao Qingsu fell asleep, he stared at her sleeping face. Finally, out of boredom, I opened my phone and started browsing a certain website. As I was browsing, I found a question. What is the happiest family you have ever seen? He found that this issue was quite popular. Out of boredom, he clicked in to take a look, but after reading it, he found that most of the answers were about other people's families, and very few were about their own, so he got excited and started typing. The happiest family I've ever seen is probably my family. My wife is gentle, beautiful, lovely, and virtuous. She also gave birth to twins for me. She is simply the best wife in the world. I dated her for 4 years in college and got married a year after graduation. We have been married for almost 4 years now, but I still love her very much. Every time I see her, my heart softens and I feel that meeting her is the greatest luck in my life. We have 2 lovely children who are almost 4 years old. They are not only very smart, but also very talented in piano and writing. They also like to perform. They became famous just by making a movie. My wife's parents are fine. Although my mother-in-law often makes trouble, my father-in-law seems to be reasonable, and there are no conflicts at the moment. As for my parents, they participate in club activities every day and come to see us on weekends. We get along very well. There is no such thing as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law conflicts at all. Speaking of this, I want to praise my wife again. Anyway, Su Yuan was bored sitting on the sofa and didn't dare to move, so he just wrote whatever came to his mind and wrote nearly 3,000 words. Later, seeing that Zhao Qingsu was about to wake up, he casually sent out what he had written. Then he threw the phone aside and ignored it. The meal is ready by this time. Su Yuan pulled Zhao Qingsu to the dining table and went upstairs to bring the 2 little ones down to eat. Have you been in love recently? Zhao Qingsu was sitting at the dining table, watching Tian Yu and Zhao Su bring the food to the table. After they set the table for dishes and were about to leave, she suddenly asked this question with a smile. Tian Yu was stunned for a moment and waved his hands subconsciously. Madam, I am not in love. Then you must be waiting eagerly for someone to reply to your message, because when you were serving the food just now, you subconsciously stared at the phone in your pocket several times. Today's mobile phones all have a breathing light. If a message is sent, the part of the light that is exposed will light up. In addition to Tian Yu's expression, she herself has been through this, so of course she can guess Tian Yu's current situation. Chapter 414. Box office exceeds 2 billion. I'm sorry, ma'am. I will concentrate on my work from now on and won't be distracted while working. Tian Yu didn't expect that Zhao Qingsu's mind was so delicate. He immediately waved his hand and made a promise with a pale face. Zhao Qingsu was a little helpless. You misunderstood me. I didn't mean to stop you from dating. On the contrary, I strongly encourage you to date at this age. After all, you are already 26 or 27 years old. If you don't date quickly, you will be 30 soon. When I was your age, I was already married to my husband. Hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Tian Yu breathed a sigh of relief but was still embarrassed. I don't have the idea of falling in love right now, and I haven't known him for long, so I want to get to know him better. Besides, he has never confessed to me, so it's impossible for a girl like me to confess to him, right? That does make some sense. Zhao Qingsu nodded. Girls should be more reserved, but you must seize love when it comes, otherwise you will miss it forever. If you are with him, you must tell me. Anyway, there is nothing at home that requires you to stay all the time, so it is not a problem to give you a day off occasionally and let you go out on a date. Tian Yu and Zhao Su have 2 days of vacation every month. She felt it was a little short, but the 2 young girls had just graduated and had nothing to do, so they said they were willing to have a 2-day vacation, and the change was never made. In the past, Ping'an and Ruyi were relatively young and had a lot of things to do, so they were a bit busier. Now that the 2 children are older, she can do many things by herself. Tian Yu and Zhao Su are on standby most of the time, so Zhao Qingsu thinks it's okay to give them more holidays. It's okay, no need to take a holiday. Tian Yu still waved his hand. The main thing is that the work here is easy. The host, hostess, and the little master are all very nice. Add to that the monthly salary of 30,000 yuan and all kinds of welfare subsidies and red envelopes during festivals and holidays. It can be said to be a perfect job. She felt embarrassed to be given a holiday like this. Zhao Qingsu smiled and said, You don't want paid vacation either. Well, it depends on the situation. Tian Yu lowered her head shyly. The footsteps of Ping and Ruyi and Su Yuan interrupted their conversation. It was not good to let everyone know about this kind of thing. So Zhao Qingsu smiled and let Tian Yu take care of his own things, while she started to eat with Su Yuan and the 2 little ones. After dinner, I checked the box office again in the evening. It has exceeded 2 billion. Su Yuan was shocked. Why is the box office so high? Is there anyone who is faking the box office? Yes, he himself suspected that someone had inflated the box office. Zhao Qingsu pushed him in annoyance. You are the boss. Don't you know whether the box office has been boosted or not? I came here with this idea, but haven't had time to implement it yet. Although he doesn't care at all about whether he makes money or not, his child still has self-esteem. He was afraid that Ping An and Ruyi would be sad to see the box office was not good, so he had thought about it in advance. If the box office was not good, he would just let his company's people book out the theater to watch the movie, and then give out some free movie coupons to bring the box office to about 2 billion yuan. No matter what, it can't be too shabby. But who would have thought that the box office had already exceeded 2 billion after only 2 days of release? The box office is growing at a rocket-like speed. Maybe if this continues, the box office can exceed 10 billion. Boss Su, the box office of this movie is really surprising. How about this? I'll find someone to do some promotion for it. Zin Zilai also called Su Yuan to discuss this matter. Although the movie has become a hit, the authorities shouldn't just sit there and wait for death. It is still necessary to produce a poster to show that the movie has exceeded 2 billion. Judging from the situation, even the posters for box office exceeding 3 billion, 4 billion, or 5 billion can be prepared in advance. Okay, you can handle this matter yourself. Su Yuan didn't plan to worry about such trivial matters. What? Tianchen, you're angry again. During the 2 days since the movie was released, the topic has been increasing. In addition to the 2 leading actors, there is Jing Tian. She has been being at ease all the time. Tianchen, you look so good in this movie, don't you? I never realized that you have such good looks before. You look so good. Tianchenids. I like you so much, my dear Tianchen. From now on, I will call you Beizeng Tian. Jing Tian's popularity has been increasing recently, and after starring in this movie, her reputation has soared even higher, and she has basically become popular again. Jing Tian was also surprised. Thank you for your love, I saw it. It's not that I look good, it's that the special effects are good. I am so impressed by the special effects. In fact, the original film when it was just shot was just so-so. But after adding the special effects of the post-production movie, it completely changed. She even photoshopped herself into a before and after photo of herself, having special effects to make fun of herself. Don't believe in special effects, they're fake. What? You really make me worry less. You can always get such good resources yourself. The agent couldn't stop smiling after the movie was broadcast. She pulled Jing Tian and said with a smile, "My phone has been almost blown up by the manufacturers I work with recently. They all want to invite you to make a movie or a commercial. I picked out a few good ones for you. By the way, the most important thing is that your offer has increased by another 30%. Really, that's not bad." Jing Tian seemed very calm about the fact that his price had increased again. The main thing is that she is not short of money at all. Money doesn't matter to her. The main reason why she keeps insisting on filming is because she likes filming and doesn't care much about the pay. Yes, you have a unique vision. The agent praised Jing Tian again. At the beginning, Jing Tian turned down so many announcements to act in The Lost Forest, but she was actually not very happy about it. The main thing is that, although this movie has a lot of hype, it actually has many shortcomings. First, the subject matter is not good, and secondly, the movie is all about thunder and little action. She thinks that such an exaggerated movie is definitely not a good movie. Of course, the most important thing is that this movie is very low. Wasn't it because Su Yuan was rich that so many actresses were vying to act in this movie? But in fact, the pay for this movie is less than half of Jing Tian's average pay. The so-called sky-high pay that people outside say does not exist at all. This movie really gave all the investment to the special effects company. Chapter 415. Stop talking, I know, I refuse. He was so drunk. I wouldn't believe him if he said he didn't drink less than 10 bottles. If you had just eaten a peanut while drinking, you wouldn't have gotten so drunk. Make it up as much as you can. I don't think anyone would believe it if it's so outrageous. To be honest, after Su Yuan finished writing his answer, he sent it out directly. As a result, he received 99+ likes and private messages the next day. At first, he thought they were all blessings, and wanted to say that the people on a certain website were quite friendly, but who knew that after clicking in, all he saw were sarcastic remarks. He was silent for a moment, typing silently, "It's not made up. Do you think I have no brains?" The other party replied to him quickly. What's even more exaggerated is that Su Yuan watched the number of likes for the other party's words soar. He was a little confused. However, no matter how confused he was, since others didn't believe it, he wouldn't force it, so he just downloaded it directly. But before leaving the post, I put a photo of myself on the answer. Can people be convinced with pictures? What is this? After Zhao Qingsu got up, she opened her phone as usual to check the messages everyone left for her. Then she found that there were a lot of messages left for her that day, and they were all at her. She was a little surprised, so she clicked on it and found out that it was because Su Yuan was pirated on a certain website. Out of curiosity, she clicked in to look at the content on a certain website, only to find that it was an answer from a user. That user had an unverified account and had very little browsing history. He had not written any answers, and this was the only answer. Zhao Qingsu went over to look at the editing time of this answer twice, and her first instinct was that this answer was indeed fake. After all, she was sleeping in his arms yesterday afternoon. How could he have the time to write a reply? It was basically certain that this thing was fake. She didn't expect that someone would pirate something like this. After taking a look, she thought it was quite interesting, so she put the link in front of Su Yuan and said, "Honey, look, it's really interesting. Someone actually wrote about our family in your tone. To be honest, it's quite similar." After she finished speaking, she stuffed the phone into Su Yuan's hand and said, "Hubby, take a look." Su Yuan coughed. "Wife, I hope you understand." Zhao Qingsu looked at him puzzledly. "Understand what?" "Understand that I wrote this answer." The two of them stared at each other in silence for 3 seconds, and Zhao Qingsu quickly snatched his phone. "I'm really sorry, everyone. Thank you very much for your enthusiasm, but I want to tell you a good news or a bad news for you. This answer was really written by my husband." As soon as Zhao Qingsu's clarification came out, the comments below exploded. "Holy crap, is this true or fake? Fuck, the cool and aloof image that Mr. Su had in my mind has been shattered. Brother Yuan, you have to remember that you are a cool and domineering CEO. How could you write something like this?" Well, I still read it with gusto. "A man who dotes on his wife is indeed a man who dotes on his wife." The words between the lines are full of dog food. Although it was just a small misunderstanding, this incident made Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu famous again, and the familiar dog food was fed to netizens again. Stop talking, I know, I refuse. In just 1 week, The Lost Forest reached a box office of 10 billion yuan, and the topic level increased again. Basically, every day when they open their eyes, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu can see the box office rising rapidly. Zhao Qingsu's words have changed from, "How much has the box office increased today?" to "How much did you earn today, husband?" The box office performance was directly called a miracle by major media outlets. Because this movie, which broke the 10 billion box office, is neither a popular type of movie nor broadcast during prime time, but it became a hit. And it's extremely popular. With the box office exceeding 10 billion, basically everyone involved in the production of this movie has seen their status rise. In addition to Jing Tian, the director of this movie has also been directly promoted to a higher level. And Two Little Ones. When the Two Little Ones were popular before, only occasionally directors would ask them to come and film a movie. But this time, The Lost Forest not only proved the Two Little Ones' outstanding acting skills, but also let the directors see the Two Little Ones' ability to carry the box office. Because there are so many people who like these Two Little Ones. If we get the two kids to film a movie, they will bring their own popularity, and we can save some money on publicity. Therefore, during this period of time, people kept calling and asking to cooperate with the Two Little Ones. He also used middlemen like Jing Tian to persuade Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. But Su Yuan doesn't give face to anyone. Jing Tian was not surprised at all after being rejected. Instead, she thought it was normal. "I knew you would reject me, but I didn't expect you to agree to this. It's just that the director who asked me to be a lobbyist did me a favor before. I can't refuse them, so I came here to ask. I even want to turn off my phone. I don't know how those people got my contact information." Zhao Qingsu gave a helpless smile. "Don't underestimate these people's abilities. It won't be difficult for them to get your contact information." Jing Tian shrugged. "By the way, what is Ping and Rui doing now?" "What else can I do? I'll go to school." Zhao Qingsu sighed. "There's a saying that you should become famous early. Although it's true they are too young, I don't think it's healthy to always let them film. After all, they like filming now mainly because they think it's fun. But I'm afraid that if they film too much, they will fail one day. So it's better to let them go to school now and experience school life. When they grow up and have their own judgment, they can decide whether to continue filming. Parents think long-term." Jing Tian touched his chin and said, If I had two cute kids like this, I would take them to film movies every day. Maybe they would be more famous than me before they reach adulthood. Don't you think that Ping and Ruyi's fame has already surpassed yours? Zuer, Jing Tian was deeply shocked by what Zhao Qingsu said. You are too much. Ruyi bullies me all the time, and now you are bullying me too. You have been led astray by Ruyi. Chapter 416, How did he offend you? Ruyi, the Lost Forest you filmed is really great. My mom said she's going to take my uncles to watch it again tonight. You guys made this movie. If you go to see it, do you want to pay? Ping En, can you give me an autograph? After school, a group of children from the kindergarten gathered around Ping En and Ruyi, excitedly talking about the movie. Ping and Ruyi talked to them as he walked out of the school. The children were quickly picked up by their parents. Ping En and Ruyi took a look and didn't see Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's car, so they knew that the driver would come to pick them up again today. So they planned to find their own car and then get in and go home. But they had only taken 2 steps when a boy and a girl came over under the guidance of their teacher. Goodbye, Teacher Yoyu. The 2 little ones waved to the teacher and were about to leave, but Teacher Yoyu stopped them. This is Director Zhang Zhezheng. He came here specially to look for you. Come over and talk to Uncle Zhang tilde tilde. Oh, okay. Although the 2 little guys didn't know Zhang Zhezheng at all, since it was Teacher Yoyu who asked them to stay and chat for a few minutes, and they were chatting in the classroom, the 2 little guys relaxed their vigilance a little. Soon the little ones came into the classroom with Zhang Zhezheng. You are Ping An and Ruyi, just as cute as in the movie. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Zhang Zhezheng and I am a director. My works include. After introducing himself, he began to persuade people and took out a script. I have a new movie to shoot this time, and the people I want to invite most are you. Oh. Ruyi heard this and thought for a moment. But we still have to go to school. Mom and Dad said that the most important thing for us now is to attend classes, so we won't be filming movies for the time being. You should become famous as early as possible. After you made this movie, do many people like you? If you continue to make movies, more people will like you, and you can also make a lot of money. When you have money, you can buy whatever you want. Isn't that good? If adults are hard to deal with, are children also hard to deal with? Zhang Zhezheng continued to persuade them with a smile. As long as you have money and fame, you don't even have to come to kindergarten. Do you like going to class? You don't like it. Going to class, we like it. Ping En looked at the director in confusion. How could we not like such a fun thing as attending class? You are such a weird person, you don't even like attending class. Zhang Zhezheng was choked by Ping An's words. Even if you like to attend classes, isn't it more fun to make movies? If making movies is more fun, why do you have to attend classes? Making movies is fun, but you can't just think about having fun, you also have to learn. Ruyi tilted her head and looked at Zhang Zhezheng. Didn't your parents tell you this? I have said it, I have said it. Zhang Zhezheng twitched his lips and continued. Anyway, you remember the name of my movie script and go back and tell your parents that you want to make this movie, okay? If you do that, I can agree to one of your requests. Any request is okay. Ruyi rolled her eyes and asked suddenly. Seeing that she had given in, Zhang Zhezheng quickly nodded with a smile. Yes, any request is fine, as long as you agree to it. Then can you send us 2 children's meals tomorrow? The one from Dongdimun. Of course you can. I thought it was a difficult request, but it turned out to be so simple, just 2 children's meals. As expected, children are children. They are so easy to coax. Zhang Zhezheng happily agreed to this request, and then watched Ping and Ruyi leave and get into the car. He looked at Teacher Yoyu happily. Teacher, thank you so much. What is there to thank me for? Since Director Zhang is here for serious business, I must cooperate with your work. Teacher Yoyu was smiling. What? Did anything interesting happen in school today? Seeing the 2 little ones come back, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu hugged the 2 little ones on the sofa and chatted with them, asking them what happened today. Ruyi thought for a moment and said, It's like that every day. There's nothing new in the kindergarten. But today, an uncle named Director Zhang found us and said he wanted us to act in a movie. Director Zhang. Yes, his name is Zhang Zhezheng. Ruyi observed Su Yuan's expression and continued. That uncle also told us that if we told you that we must act in that movie, he would take us to eat children's meals. Then did you agree? Su Yuan looked at them calmly and asked. Answer. Of course we didn't agree. How could we agree to something like this? Aren't they just 2 children's meals? Mom and Dad can just take us to eat. Why do we need others to take us to eat? Ping En was stunned by Ruyi's words. He looked at Ruyi in shock. It was clearly her who agreed, right? She was also the one who proposed the children's meal, so how come it became a no-no now? Good. Su Yuan patted Rui's little head and said, "You are right. If you want to eat children's meal in the future, just tell your parents and they will take you there." Well, I did the right thing this time. Can you reward us with a children's meal? Sure. Su Yuan agreed to this and asked Zhao Qingsu to take them to eat right away, while he went to the balcony. As soon as he reached the balcony, his face, which had been smiling gently, suddenly turned gloomy. Zhang Zhezheng, instead of making a good movie, they really have to come up with some ulterior motives and actually set their sights on Ping An and Rui. He quickly called Wang Kong and asked, "Do you know Zhang Zhezheng?" Zhang Zhezheng sounds familiar. Let me think. I think I know him. He's a small director who makes art films. What's wrong? Wang Kong had not yet realized the seriousness of the matter and asked nonchalantly, "Are you attracted by his talent? I can help you find him. It won't be necessary if you just find someone to come here." Su Yuan's voice became increasingly deep, "But you can ban him." Banned? Wang Kong realized something was wrong when he heard these two words. How did he offend you? Chapter 417, that's it. Yes, this kind of thing must be banned. It's so ignorant. After Wang Kong heard what Su Yuan said, he also sneered at what Zhang Zhezheng had done. Of course, what he was disdainful of was not Zhang Zhezheng's cleverness. What he sneered at was Zhang Zhezheng's stupidity. Who is Su Yuan? He is a well-known good man who dotes on his wife and loves his children. He doesn't dare to say anything bad about Zhao Qingsu and Ping and Rui in front of Su Yuan, for fear that Su Yuan will be angry. Zhang Zhezheng even dared to go to the kindergarten to instigate Ping and Rui. He is really not afraid of death. Brother Yuan, you don't have to do this yourself. Leave it to me. Wang Kong saw that Su Yuan was quite angry about this matter, so he quickly took over the matter. After hanging up the phone, I went to do it quickly. About half an hour later, the news spread throughout the industry, and the owner Zhang Zhezheng was still bragging to others while washing his feet in the health care center. "I'm not saying anything bad about you, you're just too honest. Why did you call Mr. Su and Mrs. Su? They will definitely not agree, but adults are hard to deal with, so are children easy to deceive." "Little kid, Director Zhang, how dare you lay hands on a little kid? What do you mean by taking action? Why are you saying such harsh words?" Zhang Zhezheng smiled and said, "To be honest, I didn't do anything to them. I just coaxed them a few words. Think about it, if they cry and ask to act in my movie, their parents who love them so much, will they refuse? No way. That makes sense. Director Zhang still has a solution. As long as you use your brain, there are always more solutions than problems." A few friends who were with Zhang Zhezheng casually praised him, but their praise was somewhat insincere. But there's nothing much to say, even if the means Zhang Zhezheng used this time were not very fair. But as long as he achieved his goal, what did being fair matter? But before he had boasted for long, Zhang Zhezheng received a call from the company. When he thought about the last time the company rejected the art film he had in his hands, he felt angry, so his tone was not good when he answered the phone. "Hello. Look what you have done." As soon as the call was connected, his boss started scolding him so harshly that he was a little confused. He asked in confusion, "What did I do?" "What did you do? How dare you ask me that? I'm really going to be pissed off by you. Look at you, why don't you mess with anyone else? You have to mess with the two little ancestors of the Su family. The company is going to be ruined by you. Brother Kong wants to ban you, so be decent and post an apology and quit the internet." The other party's words were thrown at him one by one, like a hammer on Zhang Zhezheng's heart. Zhang Zhezheng was completely stunned. He was stunned for a long time before he asked tremblingly, "No, what happened? I didn't do anything. You went to someone's kindergarten to block people, and you still dare to say you didn't do anything. How dare you say such a thing?" After the boss had a tantrum with Zhang Zhezheng, he hung up the phone with a sneer. Zhang Zhezheng returned to his friend with a pale face. Everyone didn't know what happened yet. Seeing that his face looked a little strange, they were still teasing him. "What's wrong, Director Zhang? Did you weaken your kidneys by washing your feet?" Zhang Zhezheng didn't say anything. He just covered his face and returned to his seat, pulling his hair and crying. "What's wrong this is?" Everyone was a little confused at first and didn't know what was going on, but it was definitely not an easy thing to make a grown man pull his hair and cry like a loser. They quickly searched the internet and found the news that he had been banned. As for the reason for being banned, what other reason could there be? It must be because of the two little ones. They didn't expect the retribution to come so quickly, which caught them off guard. Several of them patted their chests with lingering fear. It has to be said that when they saw that Zhang Zhezheng had succeeded in taking the wrong path, They actually had a little spark in their hearts that wanted to do something similar. After all, Zhang Zhezheng can do it, so why can't they? But now, seeing his fate, everyone fell silent. Fortunately, they did not take action, otherwise they would probably be banned by the entire network now. After Zhang Zhezheng was banned, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu obviously received fewer phone calls. Su Yuan sighed, "The world has finally calmed down. By the way, I've seen you and Xiaoyu talking about this and that every day recently. What are you talking about?" He noticed that Zhao Qingsu would often pull Tian Yu aside to talk recently. Tian Yu has been working at home for 3 or 4 years, and I never realized that there were so many things to talk about between the two of them. Tian Yu has been in a relationship recently, and they will probably be getting married soon. Now that this matter has been confirmed, Zhao Qingsu has nothing to hide. She told Su Yuan about this matter with a smile. Tian Yu means that she will continue to work in our house before she gives birth to a child, and will leave after she has a child. She has a boyfriend and is getting married soon. This is a great joy. When Su Yuan heard what Zhao Qingsu said, he was also happy for Tian Yu. What kind of person is the man? The two of us met online. I heard that the man is well-educated, polite, and interesting. Of course, I have never met him in person, but young people nowadays value free love. I will definitely not interfere too much in such matters. Zhao Qingsu said casually, "I was thinking that Xiaoyu has been working in our house for so long, and now that she is getting married, we should give her something, right? Although Tian Yu is just a nanny, she has worked at home for 3 or 4 years. In fact, she is more like a friend than a nanny. So when Tian Yu is getting married, Zhao Qingsu is also very conflicted about what to give her. How about giving me a house?" Su Yuan said casually, "Didn't I have 10 empty school district houses? Just give her one. After she gets married and has children, the children will have to go to school. I think it's a good idea to give her a school district house." "Okay, if you're going to give him a school district house, then I'll give him a car. It doesn't have to be an expensive car. A Land Rover worth around 1 million will be enough." "Okay, that's settled then. Go tell her the news later." "Okay, then I'll go upstairs and tell her about this now." Zhao Qingsu came to the nanny's room upstairs with a smile. Chapter 418, What job are you doing now? Tian Yu and Zhao Su were chatting in the nanny's room. When they saw Zhao Qingsu coming over, they stood up immediately and said, "Madam, is there anything you want to tell me?" "I don't have anything to tell you. I just came here to chat with you guys." Zhao Qingsu pulled Tian Yu and Zhao Su to sit down and looked at Tian Yu with a smile. "Didn't you tell me that you would be getting married soon? You have worked in our family for so long. Even if you have no merit, you have worked hard. Of course, our family will not treat you unfairly. My husband and I discussed it briefly and decided to give you a school district house and a car as your wedding gift." House and car in the school district. After hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Tian Yu was stunned for a moment and was almost frightened to the point of kneeling down. Nowadays, a school district house in Shanghai costs at least 10 million yuan. As for the car, although Zhao Qingsu didn't say what kind of car it is, it must not be cheap. This adds up to more than 10 million. How can she bear it? "Madam, I'm just a nanny. What I do at home is what I should do. Please don't give me so many things, I can't afford them." Tian Yu felt a little nervous. Zhao Su smiled enviously and said, "Isn't it good enough that I gave you so many things? You were just telling me about going back to your hometown with him to buy a house. Now you suddenly have your own house in Shanghai. Isn't it good? If you live in Shanghai, the quality of your children's education will be better, so you don't have to go back to your hometown. Although they have all obtained master's degrees in management, they are all from rural areas. Although their current salary is not low, it is still too difficult for them to buy a house in Maodu." So just now Tian Yu was saying that after working here for 3 to 5 years and saving enough money, he would go back to his hometown to buy a house of about 100 square meters and then prepare to have children. "Anyway, I haven't dared to think about such things in the past 2 years. There's nothing to be proud of. I've already said that these are wedding gifts for you. Just take them. As long as you live a comfortable life, you can work harder, right? You two are the people I feel most comfortable with. When you two get married and leave, I don't know where to find people better than you." Zhao Qingsu sighed. "I remember when I first met you two, you had just graduated from college and looked to be in your early 20s. I didn't expect that 3 or 4 years have passed in the blink of an eye, and it's time for you to get married." Her words made Tian Yu choke up. Tian Yu held Zhao Qingsu's hand tightly. "Madam, don't worry. I will get married as soon as possible and come back to work. In fact, I can't bear to leave you either." What she said was true. When I graduated from college, I was confused about what to do next. I just wanted to do a transitional job, so I applied for a nanny job, but I didn't expect to stay in the job for so long. Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan have been really good to her in the past few years. I'll give you a month's honeymoon after we get married. You can't just skip your honeymoon and come back to work, right? If other people knew about this, they would think I'm exploiting my employees. Zhao Qingsu said with a smile and stood up. Okay, this matter is settled. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Tian Yu and Zhao Su stood up and saw her out. Zhao Qingsu walked to the door but suddenly turned back to look at Zhao Su. By the way, Zaya Oyu has a boyfriend now. You are about the same age as her, so you should also work harder. Don't let her have a baby and you still be a leftover woman. In addition, I will keep my house and car for you, so you should work harder. Yes. Zhao Su was overjoyed when he didn't expect that he also had one. Then, I will try my best to get rid of the single status when the time comes, and I will definitely live up to your expectations. What? You look so beautiful today. Because they had to discuss their marriage, and there was nothing else to do at home, Tian Yu and Zhao Su were given a day off. Tian Yu's family was in her hometown and couldn't get over at once. So Zhao Su went to discuss the marriage with Li Qi in the capacity of a sister from her mother's family. The three of them met in a coffee shop, but after the two people arrived, Li Qi did not show up for a long time. Why is he like this? He's late for something as serious as marriage. He really doesn't take marriage seriously. Zhao Su was quite dissatisfied with this, but Tian Yu smiled and didn't care. You know, he's a programmer, he's very busy at work. We have to find time to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the marriage certificate. As for the wedding, we've agreed not to hold it for now, and we'll make it up when we have free time in the future. I think this is not a bad idea, but I feel like there's something weird about it. Zhao Su frowned. She didn't think for long before three figures appeared at the door of the cafe. In addition to Li Qi, there was a man and a woman who were Li Qi's parents. Mom and Dad, this is the fiancé I told you about. After Li Qi walked into the store, he introduced Tian Yu to his parents. Tian Yu, these are my parents. Hello, uncle and aunt. Li Qi is also from another place. He had said before that if the two of them got married, his parents might not be able to get here in a short time. So Tian Yu had no idea about this meeting, but she was still very happy. After all, Li Qi's family rushed to see her overnight, which showed that they still valued her very much. She was very happy and asked with the menu in hand, Li Qi, you still want to drink Blue Mountain, right? Uncle and aunt, what are you drinking? A cup of coffee here costs 20 or 30 yuan. If 5 of us drink coffee, it will cost at least 100 yuan. It's too expensive. We won't drink it. Li Qi's parents refused the coffee and sat directly opposite Tian Yu. They looked her up and down for a long time and asked, Where are you from? I'm from Sioux City. Tian Yu replied, Like Li Qi, I stayed in Shanghai to work after graduating from Shanghai University. It has been more than 3 years. How can you be the same as our Li Qi? Li Qi's mother looked a little strange and asked back, this. Tian Yu didn't quite understand what Li Qi's mother meant, and for a moment he was unable to respond, and the atmosphere became a little awkward. Li Qi's mother seemed not to notice the awkward atmosphere and continued to ask, What kind of job are you doing now? Chapter 419, I asked you to pay a high price for the bride price. I am now working as a nanny in someone else's home. Anyway, Tian Yu had already told Li Qi about this matter before, so he didn't hide it and just told it out loud. But when Li Qi's parents heard that she was working as a nanny, they immediately frowned. How can a girl as young as you be a nanny? Nannies are jobs for older people. Can you find a proper job? That's right. If word gets out that our child married a nanny, how will we, the old couple, live? What the two said made Tian Yu and Zhao Su dumbfounded. Zhao Su subconsciously began to refute. Uncle and aunt, what kind of work we want to do is our own business. It seems to have nothing to do with you, right? Besides, even if we are nannies, we are making money with our own hands and feet. Why should we let others laugh at us? Who are you, kid? Li Qi's parents glanced at Zhao Su coldly. Li Qi introduced, Oh, Mom and Dad, she is Xiaoyu's friend. That's also a nanny, right? After listening to Li Qi's introduction, Li Qi's parents rolled their eyes and said, I was right about what kind of quality a nanny could have. Look at what she said. Don't go too far. Zhao Su stood up and wanted to leave, but Tian Yu held her hand and said calmly, Uncle and aunt, I am doing a good job now, and I don't plan to change jobs after getting married. If you can't accept it, then forget it. What do you mean by that? You think what we said is unreasonable, right? You think we old couple are being unreasonable, right? When Li Qi's parents heard what Tian Yu said, they immediately became excited. But Tian Yu did not continue talking to Li Qi's parents, but looked at Li Qi. Li Qi coughed awkwardly and pulled his parents' clothes. Mom and Dad, please stop talking about this. I asked you to live together to discuss marriage. Okay, for my son's sake, I won't bother you about your job. But if you go to our place, you must not tell our relatives that you are a nanny. Otherwise, we will be embarrassed. After Li Qi's parents finished speaking, they continued, Our child likes you very much and said that she wants to get the marriage certificate with you this month. I think it's a bit too hasty for you two to get the marriage certificate now. You should buy a house and a car before getting married, right? Anyway, the housing prices in Shanghai are so expensive. I know you two can't afford it, so just buy a house in our hometown. I've found a good neighborhood for you. It's 80 square meters, and the total price is about 600,000 yuan. This, Li Qi's parents' words, made Tian Yu's expression look a little better. She was just about to say that she already had a house, so the matter of buying one could be put on hold for the time being. But before she could say anything, Li Qi's parents' words once again stunned her. I worked so hard to raise our son, and he finally got into such a good school. I originally wanted him to marry a girl who has a house in Shanghai, but since he insists on marrying you, there is nothing we can do. However, the house issue will be handled by you, the woman. The full payment of 600,000 is not expensive. Go home and ask your parents to collect the money. Tian Yu even doubted whether he had heard it wrongly. She looked at Li Qi in confusion, but Li Qi looked out the window and didn't seem to want to say anything, so this was indeed the case. She was silent for a moment. Aunt, uncle, if our family pays for the house, we have no objection to it. I can also bring a dowry of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our children said that you have a very good personality, and they were right, so let's do this. We can talk about the wedding when you have more money. Just get married now. Tian Yu's words made Li Qi's parents very satisfied, and they couldn't wait for the two to get married quickly. After all, the woman has to bring hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts when she gets married, which is not a small amount. Uncle and aunt, I can buy the house myself, and I can also bring my own gift to marry here. But is there something we haven't discussed yet? Tian Yu asked again. Li Qi's parents were very surprised. Is there anything else we haven't discussed yet? Oh yes, there are indeed some things we haven't discussed yet. Since we have already bought a house, we must buy a car. However, I think you kids are still young, and it is very convenient to take the subway to and from get off work every day. Cars are completely consumables. It is really not cost-effective to buy you a car now. It is better to wait until you have children in the future. Then we can drive out to buy groceries and take the children out to play. It is very convenient. I'm not talking about the car. Tian Yu interrupted Li Qi's parents and said, I want to talk about my betrothal gift. Since I have a house and a child with a dowry, how much do you plan to give us as a betrothal gift? When the issue of bride price was mentioned, Li Qi's parents' faces changed immediately. What's there to say about the betrothal gift? Let's just follow the custom over there. The custom over there is that the man gives the woman 8,800 yuan as a betrothal gift. Although my family has spent a lot of money to raise our child and we don't have much savings now, we are not a stingy family. We will definitely give you a betrothal gift. It should be okay to round it up to 10,000 yuan for you, right? Judging from the expressions on Li Qi's parents' faces, 10,000 is already a lot of betrothal gifts. 10,000. Zhao Su was more impatient than Tian Yu. He screamed out in surprise after hearing this. Do you two have any shame? The bride brought hundreds of thousands of dollars in dowry and bought a house. You didn't hold a wedding, but you're still thinking of giving a 10,000 yuan betrothal gift. Are you crazy? After she finished speaking, she grabbed Tian Yu's wrist and was about to leave. Let's go quickly. It's better not to get married like this. Tian Yu sat there without moving, but looked at Li Qi. Li Qi coughed. Although what my parents said was not very nice, it was indeed reasonable. When I first started dating you, I told you that my family conditions were not very good, so I might not be able to afford the sky-high bride price. Did I ask you to pay a sky-high price for the bride price? Tian Yu stared at him closely. Even if you don't like me, you don't have to insult me like this. Chapter 420, so that's how it is. Tian Yu, when did I insult you? Everything I said is true. My family conditions are not good, but your family conditions are not much better, right? Li Qi may feel insulted, and his tone is a little cold. It's impossible for the two of us to afford a house in Shanghai, so isn't it enough for my parents to let us buy a house in our hometown to show your understanding? Enough, enough. Tian Yu nodded, knowing that there was nothing more to say about this matter, so she picked up her bag and turned to leave. Li Qi's parents were a little puzzled. What are you going to do? Tian Yu did not answer. Zhao Su originally wanted to leave with Tian Yu, but after looking at Li Qi and Li Qi's parents, he felt that this was not a good thing, so he stopped and looked at Li Qi quietly. Li Qi, let me tell you, just because you can't afford a house or a car in Shanghai doesn't mean that our Tian Yu doesn't have a house or a car in Shanghai. I heard that she is getting married, and my wife has already given her a school district house in a prime location and a million-level luxury car as a wedding gift. The formalities have been completed in the past 2 days. After saying that, she stepped on her high heels and prepared to leave. But her wrist was quickly grabbed by Li Qi. What did you say? She has a school district house in Magic City. Of course. Zhao Su broke free from his hand. But no matter what she is now, you two have no relationship now. I advise you not to bother her anymore. Find a girlfriend who is willing to buy you a house and bring hundreds of thousands of dowry to marry you without asking for a gift. After Zhao Su finished speaking, he left slowly. What's wrong, Xia Oyu? Didn't you go to discuss marriage? Why are you crying again? Seeing that Tian Yu and Zhao Su looked unhappy when they came back, Zhao Qingsu on the sofa was stunned for a moment and asked in confusion. Tian Yu shook his head vigorously. Madam, I'm fine, it's just that. The marriage may be off the table, so you should take back the house, car, and other things first. Let's talk about the house and the car first. What happened? Zhao Qingsu saw that Tian Yu was in a bad mood and asked curiously. Zhao Su angrily told what happened today. Madam, do you think it's okay to marry a man like this? So that's how it is. After hearing what happened, Zhao Qingsu sighed quietly. It doesn't matter. Two-legged frogs are hard to find in this world, so is it hard to find two-legged men? This one is over, so let's just break up. Anyway, I have prepared a house and a car for you. When you meet the right person, you can marry him anytime. Thank you, ma'am. Zhao Qingsu asked Zhao Su and Tian Yu to take a day off today, and she cooked dinner herself. After school, Ping and Ruyi saw that dinner was not ready yet, so he went to play in the yard. Now most of the kids in the neighborhood have become familiar with each other. We often play games together when we have nothing to do, and everyone gets along pretty well. Come on, come and chase me, tilde tilde. A chubby little guy was running in front with a ball, and the little girl behind him was chasing him with her short legs. Ping and Ruyi was watching this scene from the side and shook his head. How old are you, and you are still so childish to snatch Nini's ball to play with? How childish. After hearing this, the little fat boy didn't care at all what Ping and Ruyi said. He was running in front with his short legs, holding the ball in his hands. After running for a few minutes, he saw that the little girl behind him was about to catch up with him, so he quickly climbed up to the fence next to the pond and said arrogantly, "If you try to snatch it from me, I will throw it into the pond, and you will never be able to get it back." Nini was so angry at him. "Give my ball back to me. I just won't give it to you, tilde tilde." The little fat boy made a face at Nini. Then he put his hands on his hips and said proudly, "How about this? If you want me to return the ball to you right now, it's not impossible, but you have to agree to one thing I ask." "What do you want?" "Tomorrow when we go to kindergarten and play games, you have to be in the same group with me." "No, I won't be in the same group with you." Nini shook her head like a rattle. "I won't agree to this kind of request. Then I'll throw your ball into the water, tilde tilde." As the fat boy spoke, he stretched out his arms and pretended to throw the ball in his hand into the water. It was a ball with many pink butterflies printed on it. If I threw it into the dirty water in the pond, it would definitely be infected with a lot of bacteria. Even if I fished the ball out, it would be very dirty. My mother would definitely not let me play with the ball. When Nini thought about the consequences, she became anxious and rushed forward to snatch her pink ball back. "Don't grab it." The fat boy saw her rushing towards him, but forgot that he was standing on the fence and subconsciously took a step back. Thump! He fell backwards into the pond. Although this is just a small landscape pond, and the water in the pond is not very deep, he is just a 5 or 6-year-old child. "I can't swim at all." Sure enough, as soon as he fell into the pond, he began to struggle. "It's over, someone fell into the water. I'm going to go find him now." After seeing this scene, Nini was so scared that she burst into tears. King Yu and the other children who were watching the fun nearby didn't know what to do for a moment and stood there in a daze. Ruyi ran off to find someone. This place is usually their secret garden. Few people pass by here. If you want to find an adult, it will take at least 5 minutes to go back and forth. After hesitating for a moment, Ping'an rushed directly towards the pond. He quickly took off his clothes, leaving only a small pair of shorts, then threw the clothes aside, climbed up the fence nimbly, and jumped directly into the pond. Thump! What? A child fell into the water. Where? Take me there quickly. Ruyi ran halfway and saw a worker watering the flowers in the garden, so she told him about this directly. Without saying a word, the worker dropped the water pipe in his hand and ran after her. But when he reached his destination, he was stunned. He saw from afar a little child dragging another child out of the water and climbing onto the shore. He calmly began to get dressed. The other little fat boy was frightened because he choked on some water, so he sat on the ground and cried loudly. What a stark contrast. So who fell into the water? Chapter 421, No Need for Eating. Chapter 421. Although falling into the water did not cause any serious consequences, because Rui called people over, the two children were soaked, which finally attracted the attention of the adults. After the fat boy's parents rushed over, they first sent the fat boy to the hospital, and then went to the nearby area to retrieve the surveillance footage. At first they thought someone had pushed the little fat boy into the water, but when they saw that the little fat boy had climbed up the fence and accidentally fell in, they immediately wanted to strangle their little fat boy to death. This kid is amazing. But the key point is the scene after the fat boy fell into the water. After the fat boy fell into the water, most of the children were frightened. Only two children reacted quickly. One was Rui and the other was Pingan. Rui ran over and called for help, but Pingan jumped into the water to save people without hesitation. Such a young child is too reckless. After the fat boy's parents saw Pingan jump into the water, they muttered this sentence, but the scene they saw the next second shocked them. Pingan swam quickly to his child, went around his back, grabbed his child's neck, and quickly dragged him ashore. It took less than 2 minutes from the time of the incident to the time of rescuing the people to shore. This little guy's hands and feet are so flexible. The fat boy's father was amazed at Pingan's swimming skills. He swims well, too. It's rare to see someone so young who can swim so well. Why do you care whether someone can swim well or not? Anyway, their child saved our child, so we must express our gratitude. Hurry up and prepare the gift for me. We will go to their house this afternoon to thank them. After the fat boy's mother said these words, she saw that the fat boy was still sleeping soundly on the bed, so she decided to prepare the gift herself. On the other side, Ping and Rui also returned home. Ha ha ha, I saved someone this time, tilde tilde. Pingan was quite proud of saving the little fat boy. You're not as good at swimming as I am, right? Rui was very calm. If I were you, I would definitely not be so happy. Why? Think about it, if your parents knew about this, would they praise you? It's too dangerous for you to secretly jump into the water to save someone. If your parents knew about this, they would definitely beat you up. Rui analyzed the situation for him and said, so you'd better not tell your parents about the time you saved someone. What you said seems to make sense. Although he was very unconvinced, Pingan had to admit that Rui was always right. If his parents knew about this, they would definitely scold him. Then I won't tell Mom and Dad about this. You have to keep it a secret for me, or I'll tell Mom and Dad about the last time you stole honey at home. Rui's eyes widened. You obviously stole it that time, too. You don't understand this, do you? Anyway, these two wrong things are wrong. One wrong is wrong, and both wrong are wrong. If you tell on me, I will drag you into this, too. Make a deal. The two little guys returned home quickly. The meal is ready. Although Pingan tried his best to dry his hair before going home, it still caught Zhao Qingsu's attention. Ping-an, why is your hair wet? Did you go out to play in the water? I was passing by a fountain and accidentally got sprayed by it like this. Ping-an said with some guilt. Is that so? Okay then, come here and let Mommy dry your hair for you. Be careful not to catch a cold if your hair is wet like this. Zhao Qingsu said as she took out a large towel from the bathroom. However, when she was wiping Ping-an's hair, she smelled a strange odor. Logically speaking, the water in the fountain should be clean and shouldn't smell so bad. Ding-dong. Just when Zhao Qingsu was puzzled, there was a knock on the door. Ping-an was afraid that Zhao Qingsu would get suspicious, so he quickly ran over to open the door with his short legs. Mom, I'll open the door right away. The door was opened quickly. Looking at the little fat boy's parents standing at the door, Ping-an's face instantly became very ugly. But Xiao Apeng's parents didn't notice it at all. They greeted Ping-an with bags in their hands. Thank you so much for today, little guy. If it weren't for you, our Pang-Pang might have. Uncle and Aunt, this is not a big deal. It's just a small favor. You don't have to take it too seriously, and you don't have to come all the way here to thank me. Ping-an said this quickly and wanted to close the door. But Zhao Qingsu came over and looked at the fat boy's parents curiously. What are you doing? Xiao Apengzi and Ping-an were classmates in the same kindergarten, lived close to each other, and had participated in many activities together before, so they knew each other. But they don't have much contact with each other under normal circumstances. Unexpectedly, today the fat boy's parents suddenly came over with a lot of things which surprised Zhao Qingsu. She didn't know what happened. "Why are you here today? Have you eaten? I just cooked the dishes. Why don't you come in and have a meal together?" "No need to eat. I came here today to thank your two children." The fat boy's parents came in carrying piles of gifts and sat on the sofa in the living room. Su Yuan was also called down by Zhao Qingsu to accompany the guests. Under Ping An's resentful gaze, the fat security guard exaggeratedly and enthusiastically recounted how Ping An saved people today. "Among all the children, your two children are the smartest. Other children would be too scared to move when encountering such a thing, but your children quickly ran over to call for help and then jumped in to save people. No matter which child they are good children." "Got it, thank you for telling me this." Su Yuan forced a smile. "So you didn't know about this? Didn't your child tell you? It seems that your child is really a good kid. He didn't even show off after saving someone." The fat boy's parents enthusiastically praised Ping An several times. Until the end, there were really no words to describe the praise, and then he said goodbye embarrassedly from the Su family. "We came here today to thank you. You haven't eaten yet, right? Then we won't disturb you from eating." Chapter 422, What Are You Doing? Chapter 422. The fat boy's parents finally left. Ping An wanted to run upstairs quickly, but was quickly grabbed by Su Yuan by the collar. "Ping An, tell me what bad things you did today." "As expected, I'm going to be scolded." Ping An had a sad face and stood in front of Su Yuan pitifully. "I didn't do anything bad. I saw him fall into the water and I rescued him immediately. Can't you learn from Rui and ask an adult to come and save people? You are just a child. What if the person is not saved?" Su Yuan was not happy at all when he heard that Ping An had rescued people. What he feels most now is fear. The potential that a person unleashes when drowning is extremely terrifying. If the little fat boy had accidentally pushed Ping An into the water while grabbing around, and the adults had not arrived in time, then Ping An would be the one in trouble now. It was also his fault that he was too lax in educating Ping An, which allowed him to do something like jumping into the water to save people. I must have thought I could save the people before I jumped. How dare you quibble?" Su Yuan had a cold face and directly took him to the study and locked him up. "Don't give me dinner tonight. Come out when you know you are wrong." Seeing Su Yuan coming down the stairs angrily, Rui looked at the door of the study room with sympathy and whispered at the door, "Don't worry. I'll secretly leave some food for you when we have dinner tonight." "What? You said that we are both raising children. But why are the children raised by other families so smart, while the children raised by our family are so stupid?" The fat boy's parents watched the surveillance footage that was retrieved today over and over again. No matter how they looked at it, the footage was very interesting. The differences in the reactions of these children, when faced with the same thing, are so huge. "Unfortunately, my child is the protagonist at the center of the incident. It would have been fine if he was hopelessly stupid enough to climb up the pond fence, but he actually missed a step and fell down." After watching this for several times, the fat boy's parents felt more and more that their own child was so stupid that it was unbearable to watch. So after watching it several times, the fat boy's father asked some soul-searching questions. This made the fat boy's mother unhappy. "Don't you see what kind of parents other people have? What kind of parents are you? You only know that your child is stupid and never mention the genetic problem." "That does make sense." The fat boy's father nodded and said, "If I had known this would happen, I should have married a smarter wife." "You don't want to live today, do you?" "I was wrong, wife." After the final fierce battle, the fat boy's father was successfully driven to the study room. Seeing that he would not have dinner today, he sent the video to a good friend of his with some sorrow. "Let me show you the difference between our child and other children. This kind of thing is too dangerous." My friend is the coach of the national swimming team. His name is Zhang Xian. When he saw the fat boy falling into the water in the video, he subconsciously said this and recommended swimming to the fat boy's father. "I said that you should send your fat boy here to learn swimming. Not only can he lose weight, but most importantly, he can save himself in case of such an accident. Shit." But before he could finish his words, he was shocked by the scene of Ping An saving people. "Whose child is this? Don't you know these kids? They are the two little ones from the home of Green Rice CEO Su Yuan. They are also the stars of the recently popular movie The Lost Forest. This is a swimming genius. He can swim so well at such a young age. What will he be like when he grows up?" Zhang Xian is the coach of the national seed team, which is made up of young children. The youngest is only 9 years old. His favorite thing to do is to go to various swimming pools to search for children with swimming talent. As soon as he saw the video of Ping An saving people, his eyes lit up. "Don't think about this child. How could such a good child be sent to swim? Xiaopeng's father knew what kind of person his friend was, so he immediately warned him. Besides, don't you see what these two kids are made of? No matter what, you should always give it a try. Zhang Xian excitedly asked the fat boy's father for the address. The fat boy's father gave the address to Zhang Xian helplessly. Let me be frank with you, don't be too sad if they reject you. What? Do you know you're wrong? Although Ping An was kept in solitary confinement for the whole night, Su Yuan did not sleep well that night, so he picked up Ping An early in the morning. Ping An was sleeping soundly on the sofa in the study when he was picked up. He asked in confusion, "Isn't it the weekend today? Can't I sleep in? Have you forgotten what you did yesterday?" Su Yuan narrowed his eyes. When Ping An saw his father's expression, he woke up almost instantly. "Dad, I know I was wrong." "Then tell me exactly what you did wrong." "I shouldn't have jumped in to save them on my own. I should have followed Rui's example and called for an adult to come and save them." "Will you do this again in the future?" "I will definitely not do this again." Ding-donged. Soon the doorbell rang, and Su Yuan's teaching was interrupted. He asked Ping An to sit on the sofa and walked to the door to open it. Standing at the door was a dark and thin man. The man was so enthusiastic when he saw Su Yuan. "I'm really sorry, Mr. Su, for coming here to disturb you so presumptuously. But I came here this time because I want to discuss something with you." After he finished speaking, he realized that he was so nervous that he forgot to introduce himself. He quickly took out a business card from his trouser pocket and said, "This is my business card. I'm Zhang Xian, the swimming coach of the national team. After watching your child's swimming video yesterday, I think your child is very talented in swimming. Come in." When he heard that he was the national team's swimming coach, Su Yuan immediately smiled and warmly welcomed him in. "Please sit down. This is Su Yaochen, right?" As soon as he entered the room, Zhang Xian found Ping An standing pitifully beside the sofa. He stared at him with shining eyes as if he had found a treasure. Ping An's scalp was numb from being stared at, and he asked cautiously, "I am you? What are you going to do?" Chapter 423, I'm Not Dreaming. Chapter 423, Don't be afraid, little one. I'm Zhang Xian, the national team's swimming coach. You can call me Uncle Zhang. I have no ill will towards you. I just want to take you to play something fun. This is a good seedling for the swimming team. Maybe he will be the future swimming champion." The more Zhang Xian looked at Ping An, the more he felt that he was a treasure. He wished he could pull him into his swimming team for training right now. "I don't know you well. Why do you want to take me to have fun?" Ping An frowned and looked at him. "And the way you smile at me like that really makes you look like a weird uncle." "I..." Zhang Xian touched his face. "Is it that scary?" It's obvious that all the kids in the swimming team like him very much. He is a popular coach in the swimming team. He didn't expect to be rejected by Ping An when he came here. This made him feel a little frustrated. But this did not stop him from continuing to hook up with Ping An. "How do you talk to Uncle Zhang?" Su Yuan, who brought a drink to Zhang Xian, heard Ping An's words and scolded him softly. Ping An stuck out his tongue and put on a well-behaved look. "Hello, Uncle Zhang." "Hey, hello. This child is really well-behaved." After Zhang Xian was called Uncle Zhang by Ping An in a crisp voice, he felt very happy and completely forgot what Ping An said just now, that he looked like a weird uncle. "Mr. Zhang, you said you watched my son's swimming video. Did you make a mistake?" Just now at the door, Zhang Xian briefly explained his purpose. Actually, for Su Yuan, this matter was quite unbelievable. In order to let the children win at the starting line and to provide a foundation for their safety and happiness, he did teach the two little ones to swim when they went to the beach. But the problem is that no video was recorded throughout the entire process, let alone any video was circulated. He was a little suspicious whether Zhang Xian had mistaken the person. Zhang Xian said firmly, "I specifically asked about this matter. How could I have made a mistake? There is absolutely no mistake. It is Su Yaochen. His nickname is Ping An, right?" "That's true, but the video... My friend sent it to me. He's the father of your son's classmate, the fat boy who fell into the water yesterday." Zhang Xian frowned when he got to this point. "I've told my friend that children's quality education should start from childhood. If he had sent his child here to learn swimming with me earlier, this wouldn't have happened. Speaking of which, Director Su is worthy of being Director Su. Your children are well educated. At such a young age, they are not only well-rounded in moral, intellectual, physical, aesthetic, and labor development, but are also brave and chivalrous." "Mr. Zhang, let's not say polite words." Seeing Zhang Xian flattering him to the extreme, Su Yuan couldn't help but interrupt him. "I just want to ask you, why did you come here this time?" "Oh, that's right. I came here this time because I want your child to join our national training team. As the old saying goes, we should start from childhood. After watching the video of your child saving people, I know that he must be a good candidate for swimming. If he starts training now, maybe he can win glory for the country in a few years. Zhang Xian became more and more excited as he spoke. Would you like to consider this? Although Su Yuan is not short of money now, and his child does not need to work as hard as ordinary children, he thinks it is a good thing to be able to join the national swimming training team. After hesitating for a while, he did not refuse immediately. Instead, he looked at Ping An, pondered for a few seconds, and said to Zhang Xian, I need to think about letting my child join the swimming team overnight. I will call you tomorrow when I have considered it. Okay, I've already given you my business card. Although Zhang Xian was a little disappointed that Su Yuan did not agree right away, he knew that this matter was not a small matter and would definitely take time to consider, so he did not force it. He just looked at Su Yuan eagerly and said, If you decide to send the child to me, just call me directly. I am free anytime, anywhere. Yeah, okay. After seeing Zhang Xian off, Zhao Qingsu and Rui also got up. Su Yuan told Zhao Qingsu what happened in the morning and asked her to make the decision. I think this is a good thing, but the problem is, let's ask Ping An for his opinion. For this kind of thing, Zhao Qingsu decided to let Ping An make his own decision. The uncle just asked you if you want to join the swimming team. If you want to join, you have to swim and train every day and participate in various competitions. Are you willing to do that? Su Yuan looked at Ping An very seriously. Ping An looked at Zhao Qingsu, then looked at Rui and asked, Can I still go home? Of course you can, idiot. Rui quickly gave him the answer. Ping An also agreed, Okay, I'll join in. After Ping An agreed, Su Yuan called Zhang Xian to inform him of the matter. Zhang Xian was so happy that he flattered Su Yuan. Mr. Su, to be honest, you are the most wise and far-sighted father I have ever seen in the world. Ping An has a good father like you. He will definitely have a bright future. He will be the next world champion. I'll give you my good wishes. So when will you come over? Tomorrow. I'll send you the address. As if afraid that Su Yuan would go back on his word, Zhang Xian immediately sent him the address of the swimming training center. After it was over, he was so happy that he danced on the spot. World champion, world champion, world champion. Coach Zhang, if you are mentally ill, you can go to a mental hospital. If you continue like this, it will be contagious to the children. This was the scene that another coach saw when he pushed the door open. They were so grown up, yet they were still so childish. But Zhang Xian didn't care at all after hearing his words. I'm telling you, if you encounter something as happy as I do, I think you will be even more unable to control yourself than I am, so don't talk nonsense. The question is, what happy things have happened to you? The other coach was confused. Are you dreaming? When he came in just now, he heard Zhang Xian muttering something about the world champion. There haven't been any competitions recently, not even provincial competitions, so where does the world champion come from? Forget it, I won't hide this from you. I'll just tell you straight away, I found a world champion. Zhang Xian sneakily put his mouth close to the coach's ear and said, I'm sure if he can keep up with the training, he will definitely be the next world champion. Chapter 424, You are so awesome. Chapter 424, I'm telling you, are you crazy? How dare you say such things everywhere? Although the children selected by the National Training Center are all very talented children from all over the country, the internal competition in sports is too serious. Because everyone is a gifted child who has undergone hard training before being sent to participate in the competition. The person who can win the gold medal in the end must be the most talented and capable player, and also needs a little bit of luck. It is too difficult to meet all these conditions. With so many children in the training center, he doesn't even dare to say that there will be a world champion among them. But Zhang Xian said that a certain child is the future world champion. You'll know when you see that kid. My judgment is correct, Zhang Xian said with a smile, and had no intention of arguing with him at all. Another coach was helpless. Where did you get this kid from? You didn't just grab him from the swimming pool, did you? This child has a very important background. If I tell you about it, it will probably scare you to death. But that's not the point. The point is that this child is really very talented. Although Zhang Xian likes smart and talented children, this is the first time the coach has seen him praise a child like this, so he also became curious. Then I will go with you to take a look tomorrow. What? The child you are talking about cannot be. The next day, Zhang Xian and another coach stood at the entrance of the swimming training center and were stunned by the good-looking family of 4 that appeared before them. Isn't this the internet celebrity family? Why are they here? The other coach quickly realized that something was wrong. Could it be that the very talented children Zhang Xian mentioned were those two little kids? Yes, Zhang Xian nodded proudly. I finally managed to convince their parents to let their children attend this swimming training. Am I awesome? You're so great, I think you're crazy. If you want to give swimming training, the children should be around 7 or 8 years old, right? These two children look only 4 or 5 years old. They haven't developed fully yet. Why did you bring them here? Didn't I say that this kind of thing should be started from childhood? That's not such a small dull. Zhang Xian ignored the other coach and came to Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan with a smile. He greeted them and took them into the swimming training center. Although it is called a national training team, in reality the conditions can only be considered half up. The swimming pool here is not as good as the swimming pool in their own villas. There were quite a few children training next to the swimming pool. Anyway, she was bored and it was a rare opportunity. After asking Zhang Xian for